everyone, welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Alexa.
I'm Molly.
We're your pop culture besties who would love to go for a little stroll, but probably not a long walk.
I love that.
There we go. Thank you. A total surprise that I had to record 3 times because I kept messing it up. I'll be honest with everyone.
I was trying to be chill about it. I wasn't going to reveal that.
One thing about me is I can't chill.
Yeah.
I can't. If I make any mistake, you'll know.
Yeah, welcome back.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know what? I'm actually doing really great. I didn't even have an espresso martini, and I feel like I've been so tired because it's been raining the past 3 days, but I don't know if you can tell. I'm like an auctioneer right now. I'm ready to ride.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, we're very energized today. Alexa made some really yummy, she made me an espresso martini with pecan, and vanilla.
Which do you say? It's divisive.
You know, you said pecan, and so I said pecan, but I usually say pecan.
Wow.
Or do I? Now I'm questioning myself.
I hate when people ask me that. So anyways, welcome to our podcast about language.
The one that really gets me is aunt and aunt because but not gets me, but I have a rule with it. It's I usually say aunt, but if I'm talking about an aunt, I'll be like aunt blah blah blah.
I always say aunt. Aunt Donna, Aunt Marigold, Aunt Alexa.
You have an Aunt Alexa?
No.
Aunt Alexa sounds interesting.
That's me, because I have a...
Oh my god, you are Aunt Alexa.
Yes, I have 2...
I was like, I didn't know you were named after somebody. You were a namesake.
No. Is this play about us?
But you know what we're not here to talk about today is names.
Yeah, because I can't remember a single name from this movie, but I can remember who they are.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's 50 of them to be exact. There's more, actually. Today, we are going to be talking about the movie The Long Walk. We just saw it last week.
Yes.
And we're obviously going to be getting into some spoilers. So if you want to skip ahead, you know the drill.
Yeah, and if you don't...
there'll be timestamps in the episode description, and then we'll also post them on our Instagram story. So follow us on Poppin In Podcast.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram at Poppin In Podcast. So, as I said, today we're going to be talking about the movie The Long Walk. Some spoilers ahead, so we warned you already, so be warned.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we saw The Long Walk last week, and we just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it. I think it was a movie that really, at least for me, stuck with me a lot.
Yeah.
But
for a multitude of reasons.
Yes. I actually have not stopped thinking about this movie.
Yeah, you were talking about it during dinner the other day, and that's how I
talked about it at work today.
Yeah.
I have talked about it actually pretty much every day since we've seen it. But The Long Walk is based on the 1979 novel by Stephen King. It was written under his pseudonym Richard Bachman, which, and it was Stephen King's first written novel, though it was not his first published novel. That was actually Carrie, which is my favorite. But he began writing it in 1966 while he was in college.
Okay, that makes so much more sense, because when I was doing research, people were like, oh, it written by Stephen King, Richard Bachman. And I was like, no one had been mentioning this Richard Bachman. I literally thought to myself, I was cooking while I was listening to this podcast, I was like, poor Richard Bachman. He's just getting overshadowed by Stephen King. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, The Long Walk is set in a dystopian future. It follows 50 boys in an annually televised competition meant to inspire viewers. Each boy must maintain a pace of 3 miles per hour. Failure to do so after 3 warnings result in death. The boy who lasts the longest wins riches and the fulfillment of a wish of his choice. So the movie apparently was supposed to be made a while ago. Frank, I don't know his last name, Darabont?
Yeah,
I think the one who did The Mist.
Yeah,
he was supposed to make it, and then it never ended up being made. So, but this came out this year, obviously. And so it's a dystopian thriller film directed and produced by Francis Lawrence. It stars Cooper Hoffman as the main character, Ray Garrity, David Johnson as Pete. I don't remember how to say his last name. Do you? McVries?
No, I don't remember anyone's. Forgot his name was Pete.
I know. And so I'm going to be calling them by their first names, because I do think they do mostly say their last names in the movie, but I don't remember how to say his last name. So I'm just going to be saying Ray and Pete.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill as the major, he's sort of the main antagonist. He's the overseer of the Long Walk. But basically, The Long Walk takes place in this totalitarian military dictatorship. And these 50 teenage boys And they're actually one from each state, which I didn't realize that while we were watching it.
When I was listening, people were saying it's 50 from each state, but in the beginning when they are showing them, I was thinking about it, I was like, it did not look like there were 50 boys there.
Yeah.
But I guess so, because at a certain point they're like, oh, there's only 15 left or whatever. So I guess it must have been.
It was so they all sign up to take part of this long walk. And I did not, I think we mentioned when we were talking about it before that we were like, oh, this is the first Stephen King movie that we saw where it doesn't take place in Maine. Not true. It actually starts at the Canadian border in Maine.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why are they talking like that?
Because they're all from different states.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. They're not all from Maine.
I have a lot of thoughts on, like, the dialogue. Like, overall, I liked this movie, but the dialogue and the dialect was interesting.
I have some thoughts, too.
Yeah.
But basically, and again, we're going to be getting into some spoilers, like I said. But, so, Ray Garrity, he's the main character, played wonderfully by Cooper Hoffman.
Wonderful boy. Man?
He's a man. I think he's a man, but he's only 22 years old.
Not yet a man. He's a man. Not still a boy, but not yet a man.
He is a man. He just seems so much older to me.
But he also can seem, like, young.
I don't think he seemed young in Licorice Pizza.
He seemed young in this, but then when we saw him in Saturday Night, I was
like a 32-year-old.
Yeah.
It was so confusing. Which makes me wonder, like, why they chose him for that role. You know what I mean?
Which role?
For Saturday Night. Like, because he's so... he was great.
Yeah.
He was good in it. I'm just saying, like, what made them be like, Cooper Hoffman, yes, to play this, like, executive... Or he wasn't an executive.
I guess he did what he did in the movie. He killed it. And they were like, yeah, you probably are 32. How's your mortgage?
Yeah. But in the beginning of the movie, Ray Garrity is driven to the border by his mom, played by Judy Greer, who is usually a comedic actress. Just from the beginning of the movie, I almost started crying. She was so emotional.
Loved seeing her in something where she wasn't just like the best friend of a leading
friend, romantic
lead.
But she's like dropping her son off, and she's begging him to back out, and you can't back out, like, basically once by a certain time or whatever. And so these boys volunteer. They're not for it's a little bit like a lot of people were comparing this movie to Hunger Games, but I would first of all, it's before the Hunger Games. But also I would say it's different because they're not it's kind of interesting that they're not forced to do this. They volunteer. Which kind of shows you how bleak the society is. Because, again, this is like a dystopian universe. So.
Yeah, and they say they're like, everyone signs up every year. Yeah. Every young boy, man, whatever.
For them to think, like, they even have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Like, on the off chance that they win, that must mean that they're not things aren't great. So he refuses to back out, and at the start of the competition, he meets some of the boys, mainly Pete, who is played by David Johnson. Amazingly by David Johnson, who's an amazing actor. They eventually form a close bond, and they also form a bond with others, like a group of others who they call themselves the Musketeers. And so those are kind of the main, like, characters. There's obviously 50 boys starting out, but those are there's about 4 or 5 main boys. And so the walk starts, and the rules basically are that you have to keep up a pace of 3 miles per hour. You can't go under, and you can't stop. And if you go under or stop, then you are given 3 warnings before you're executed. Yeah. And it's interesting because if you went into this movie not knowing what it's about, I think you'd be a little surprised because I don't think they ever say until it happens, like, they call it like a ticket or something.
You'll get your ticket.
You'll get your ticket. And so if
it happens pretty quickly.
It happens quite quickly, but I don't think, like, I'm pretty sure if you didn't know, like, I think it would be kind of a surprise. But basically, I think you get 3 warnings per every 3 hours.
Yeah, I think so. So you can use them as rest because it's like every 10 seconds. Or like you get 10 seconds. And so that's why some of them would, like, plan it out.
The timing was a little inconsistent, I would say, throughout the movie, unless they were just speeding it up sometimes. But
well, it's interesting because in the book, apparently, you get 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Which I think makes more sense, like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And so the first time you see it happen, it's during the first day of the walk, and a boy who is, I don't know if you've seen Jojo Rabbit. He was actually the main character in Jojo Rabbit. I didn't, like, know until after, but he is the first person who is who this happens to. He gets a Charlie horse in his leg, And he ends up having to stop, and they try to help him, and it's like, you know, he has to stop, and he gets shot in the face, and it's brutal. It's very shocking. But I was thinking, I'm like, I think they used the wrong term, because a Charlie horse is like it's like a muscle like spasm. It's like a tightening cramp in your muscles. And everyone knows, like, if you get a Charlie horse, the thing that you do is walk it off.
Actually, I've learned that I don't think everyone does know that, because I've had to tell people that, like, recent years where, like, they'll get a Charlie horse and I'll be like, you need to stand on it. Or, like, even Chris will be like, if you get a Charlie horse in the middle of the night.
Right, I know that. Like, or I've had to be taught that too, or I have to remind myself, but I'm saying he does start walking, so why wouldn't... That's why I say I think the wrong
I don't know if he's doing it enough.
Used.
Like, if you have... I don't know.
Yeah, because, I mean, once you start walking, it goes away. Yeah. So, I don't know. But anyway, he has to stop, and he gets shot in the face, and it's really horrible. And basically, like, as it goes on, more people die, and...
Yeah.
So, I want to go over the scene that really got me.
Mm-hmm. I think...
I haven't stopped thinking about it, because it just truly was, like... awful.
Yeah.
Is there's one so obviously the thing is, like, you might be wondering, do they get breaks to go to the bathroom? No, they don't.
And you know what? I'm gonna say the scene is perfectly timed, because it's about the time when you're wondering, like, are they gonna go to the bathroom?
And at one point, like, so David Johnson's character, he does turn around and, like, because luckily they're guys. The thing is, I was thinking if they were girls, they'd be fucked, because you can't, like, I guess you could pee standing up, but then you'd have to wear...
Yeah.
You'd have to, like, take your underwear off and, like, you know, whatever.
You just have to pee in your pants.
I guess so. I'd wear a diaper, wouldn't you?
But then you'd have to we were discussing this, you'd have to do the whole walk with a diaper on. Can you imagine that rash? That would be worse than pee on your legs. The pee would dry after, like, an hour or so, and then it would just kind of smell.
But I'd wear a dress, though. I'd have to, because you can wear pants. Like, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're able to, like, piss on the street or whatever and keep walking. But... unfortunately, like, one guy, I guess he was just, like, sick, and he literally just starts shitting, and don't worry, they show it.
It is, like, explosive diarrhea.
Yeah.
Like, literally, horrible. And he, like, he has his pants pulled down, it is shooting out of him, just rocketing out of his asshole. And he can't, and they're like, you need to keep walking, because he has to stop.
Yeah.
And he can't, like, he tries to, and then he still has to, like, go again. And I know we've all been there. Don't try to deny it, anyone. Like, you know what kind of experience this man is having while trying to walk.
And not only do they show it from behind, but then they also focus on his face while it's happening, and it's just awful. Because, like, the thing, I think what bothered me about it was, like, not only were they showing it, and it's like, things like that just really bother me, but, like, also, it's like, can you imagine being in that situation?
Yeah, because it's like, the thing is, the guys are like, keep walking, just, like, shit down your leg or whatever, and it's like, in that situation, it's not like I'm just gonna shit. It's like, you have to stop, and, like, your soul is leaving your body. And the thing is, it's like, we kind of, like, laugh, but it's also really horrific, because it is one of those things, like, they've been doing a bunch of walking, and, you know, walking can inspire some movement in some places, and it just feels like it's like funny, but it makes it very real.
Yes, that's like, what I think that's why it bothered me, because it was like, and if they hadn't have shown it, it wouldn't have, like, it's so realistic. You know what I mean? Like, they just had to go there, you know?
And they showed everything. I was going to say, when we were talking about, like, the first guy to get his ticket, like, usually in movies where it's, like, kind of kids getting killed, they don't show it. Like, they'll, like, pan off, and but you literally see this kid's face get blown in.
And he's a kid, too, because they show at the beginning, he's, like, you know, because I think you have to be 18.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't, but he lies. He says he's 18, so he must be lying. But he's clearly, like, younger than that. And so it is just like, oh, they really just showed that. But, and that, the shitting scene is, like, not the only one either. There's also another one later. It's more comical. It's, like, another scene where somebody has to go, and he has to, that almost is, like, work, because, like, he had to do it really fast, and he was, like, warning. Like, it was, like, a really suspenseful scene. I'm pretty sure they showed that, too. And it was, like... ugh, like, and then you can't even like wait for anything. It's really gross.
That's what stuck with you, because it was a different. Well, I know why it stuck with you. That's like your worst. You hate anything mentioned that, but that's like not the like thing that stuck with me.
No, most people it isn't.
Yeah,
like it, and I was
like it was jarring, but it wasn't like the moment I like.
It was like truly traumatizing for me. Like, genuinely. Because again, like, I'm just like, that's awful. Like, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
And also, it's wild that no one else had the issue. You know what I mean?
I think, like, they were just shitting on themselves. But also, like, I think what I like about it is it's like you've got all these different types of bodies and you can see, like, how they react to different things, you know? Like some of them are getting sick. Some of them are, like, literally convulsing, you know?
I know. It's true. It shows you, like, how much people can handle so there's one that, as I said, like, as it goes on, more people die, obviously, because by the end of the movie I think they're walking for 6 days, and
nonstop. They're literally asleep.
How did somebody not, like, Cooper Hoffman did not shit for 6 days?
I think he probably did, but it's just not notable, you know what I mean? Like, I think they were doing, like, they're all yelling at each other, like, just shit in your pants and, like, let it fall out or whatever.
It'd be great if you were the last two, because then it's like, okay, no one's really here.
Molly, you would have to shit before you were the last two.
Well, even if
you didn't
it was
shit
down,
for 6 days, you'd, like,
if
die.
If it was down to the last, like, 5, I'd be like, all right. But it was the fact that there was, like, 50 of them at that point, 48, whatever. That's horrible.
I think you just have to do it.
I'm just saying that's horrible.
Yeah.
So, one guy, though, breaks his ankle, and
that's what really got me.
I wasn't sure how he did it. They're not running.
I think it was like, I don't know. I think it was just maybe like the strain or something. Like, they show something where it happens, where it's like there's some kind of skirmish beforehand or something, where it's like he's kind of like fallen and he gets up, or something like that.
Because I remember all of a sudden they just showed his ankle and he's like, my ankle.
That was what really stuck with me, because he had been walking on it like a broken ankle. It was literally like he was walking on the bent broken part. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What I was confused about, there was another kid where his ankles were like straight up and down, but they were just bleeding. I was like, why are your ankles just bleeding?
And then one, actually, I think it was Cooper Hoffman's character, the sole of his shoe fell off, and I was like, that would suck.
You know what? Actually,
and they were like, you have to take both of your shoes off because you can't walk like that.
This is what I put in my Venmo to you for the ticket. I thought it was crazy that one kid decided to walk the whole thing in Converse, like literally white Chucks.
I know. Can you imagine?
Like And I think, like, that's why the time period is confusing. I understand, like, Converse were one time used for, like, sporting events or whatever, but, like, they were made to be basketball shoes.
Oh.
But, like, basketball shoes and long walking. Yeah. I was like, that's crazy.
And you couldn't even really wear, I think hiking, I think you'd either have to wear hiking boots or Hoka's, I don't know.
But that's the thing, and we'll get into this when we get into the question of the week too, but like, I was thinking about it, like, oh, why wouldn't you buy better shoes? But then you remember, like,
they're poor.
They're all so poor. And that's one of the things I love about this movie is, like, it's like the things unseen are really telling you about the world that they live in. So they're just, like, walking through these kind of, like, Midwestern towns, and all you see are, like, a couple of people on the side of the road. Like, all the stores are closed, like, everything. Yeah. And just by the fact that they're, like, signing up and you can see kind of, like, the demolition of the town, I think you really get a good picture of, like, how awful things are without having to see everything that's, like, crazy amount of world building.
They really do that. And because, again, the movie starts straight up at the beginning of the walk, so you don't get any kind of, I also really liked, I didn't mention this, but at the very beginning of the movie they explain the plot to you by showing the letter that he got.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was a really, like, good way of explaining this scenario.
Yeah.
But yes, so they're so you have to assume, and they don't show it, but, like, you have to assume, like, that's where they are. I mean, they're obviously at this point because of how the world is. Like, otherwise, again, why would you sign up for this? But, basically, so, like, as they go on, you kind of learn the motives behind why the two main characters are walking, and they're becoming friends. And Pete, who is,
David Johnson
says his wish is to improve, like, his wish would be to, like, improve the world.
And I'm here to say, he kept saying his wish. It was, like, one word, and both times, both of us missed it. What?
He's a great, phenomenal actor. Great, he's British.
Yeah.
His southern accent was hard to hear.
It was rough. Like, it wasn't... And it was just like, I'm like, what word did he say? I really there was don't know.
A time where we were like, wait, what did he say?
Yeah.
But I mean, amazing. But he was like, his character was a super optimistic guy. He was all about passiveness. Like, he literally never gets tired. And he's super encouraging towards Ray. And so anyway, you find out that, like, Ray, if he were to win, wants his wish to be to kill the Major, because the Major killed his dad years before over political opposition. And so he wants to, like, kill him out of vengeance. He just, like, wants to take his gun. His wish is to, like, take his gun and then kill him. And so, and, you know, Pete's kind of like, no, you shouldn't do that. But so as they keep walking, they lose more boys. Like we said, like, you know, feet fall off. They walk through rain. They walk uphill, which I didn't think about. Like, that sucks.
The thing is, the movie is called The Long Walk, so you know they're going to be walking, but they show, like, the mileage every now and then, and every, like, you just were like, oh my god. I
think by the end they walked they walked like 300 miles or something.
It was over that. Like, it's crazy.
Maybe it's 500 miles.
Yeah.
But basically, so, you know, eventually Pete and Ray are the two remaining walkers by the end of it. And I'm skipping through that, but, like, it's really emotional. There's some guys that they become friends with where it's just, like, it's so sad when they die. Like, you've really, like formed, like, like an emotional attachment to these characters. Yeah. And they do this in an hour, 45 minutes. Like, it's just really well paced, I thought.
Yeah.
But
no
basically,
pun intended.
Yeah. So they're the two remaining walkers, which we kind of knew was going to happen, I think. Yeah. But eventually, like, Pete stops walking because he's just like, okay, I'm just going to sit peacefully and just die. Like, I want you to win. And Ray helps him up to, you know, helps Pete up only to stop walking himself. Yeah. And then he gets shot and Pete ends up being the winner. And he wants, and he's just kind of horrified, and like there's fireworks and it's like this big thing. Yeah. And he's the winner, and he ends up fulfilling Ray's wish of killing the Major by wishing for the gun, and he kills the Major. And the last shot is of him, like, looking toward the road to continue to walk. We actually interpreted that kind of in a different way. We weren't really... I
think we were saying maybe he died because, like, suddenly everyone had disappeared. And, like, obviously he just shot, like, the leader of this totalitarian movement. So... And
so it's like, what... Like, yeah, I don't think he would just survive after that. And so... But...
Very different from the Hunger Games, where the Hunger Games, like, we have to have a winner. This one, I think they were like, nah, man.
Yeah. And so I think, so it's interesting. It's actually different from the book as well. So basically, the book ending was that Pete dies first. He chooses to sit down and die peacefully, just like he does in the movie, but he gets killed. And actually the last two are, so there's a character, he was good too. He had blonde hair. I don't remember his name, but he was the tall blonde one. They're the last three walkers, and you find out that he is like an illegitimate son of the Major. He has like multiple illegitimate sons probably. And his wish was to just like have a relationship with him. Right. And then he kind of realizes he ends up getting allergies he gets like sick. Yeah. And he dies from just like, he's just like, okay, I'm done. Like, you guys keep walking. But in the book, it's actually him and Ray are the last two walkers.
Oh, that's interesting.
He ends up just kind of giving up. He's like, okay. But it's interesting at the end of the book, like Ray's the winner, but he doesn't fulfill his wish. He just keeps walking. And he follows a dark figure, which could be death. Yeah. And he actually starts running, and that's kind of how the book ends. Oh, interesting. But personally, I liked the movie ending. I thought it would have been too easy if Ray had won. Yeah. I think sort of towards the middle of the movie, I kind of was like, I bet Ray is not going to be the winner, because you would think, because he's the main protagonist. But I was like, I bet Pete is going to win. And I liked that it was Pete, because it was interesting to see he had been so like bright and optimistic and like a pacifist the whole movie, and so it was kind of interesting to see him have that like breakdown at the end. Yeah. And to now brutally kill, like he had been telling Pete to not do.
Yeah. Also, by the end of this, I mean, you are physically and emotionally like changed. You know what I mean? Like, you're like disoriented. Your body is like truly at its breaking point, and your mind.
Well, and that's why. So I kind of am like, that whole thing was probably could have been a delusion. Like, I'm sort of of that mind that he did not just shoot the Major and then get to walk away. I think he was killed immediately, probably, and then the rest of the movie is like a delusion. Yeah. But so it's interesting. So basically, Stephen King actually, he wrote the novel during the Vietnam War. He wrote it in the 60s. Sense. And so many people see it as kind of like mirroring the horrors of war. Yeah. Because, you know, obviously, like, boys are seeing their friends dying, and they're the lack of reason for why this is all occurring, you know? In the first place. But
he loves a teen boy friendship.
So that was one thing I wanted to touch on, is like, one thing I will say about Stephen King, and I think there's, you know, there's some things that I happen to be a big Stephen King fan, but I do think there's some things about his writing that could be criticized. But one thing I love is the way he writes male friendships, because he truly, like, they're always these like deep bonds. He's not afraid to write them showing emotion to each other. He did that with Stand By Me, which is based on a book called The Body, but he did that, and obviously I saw that in this movie as well. And I love to, like, I just think he writes, and a lot of it, of course, is the acting too, but because the two, Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
And
they're both, I'm excited to see what their careers
apparently they're supposed to be in a movie together.
What movie?
It's a movie, I was just reading about it. It's a movie called The Chaperone or something like that, and I think they're going to be in it together. But I was like, good, because I really enjoyed them. But yeah, but basically, so kind of a theme throughout the movie is, like, I guess the long walk is sort of supposed to represent, like, life's journey. And I think, like, you know, kind of like the hardships and all the, like, the people you meet along the way, and then losing people, and obviously death. And so the ending could be interpreted as death, like we said, or I think, like, you know, some people were saying, like, it could be just like him continuing on his life, because it's like the long walk, the long road.
I think it's interesting because I feel like we've had so many dystopian things come out in the last few years, and there's always like dystopian fiction and stuff, but it feels like there's a lot in the past like 15 or so years. And I think it's extremely like poignant that it like came out around the time that it is now. Like, it's about like the Vietnam War, like you're saying, but a lot of the themes and stuff feel like hyper relevant to today.
It's timeless.
Which I think made it like a little bit hit home a little bit more. But also, like, that's why it's interesting, because it came out today. They didn't tell you what the time period was, but you had to assume, because again, people are just like wearing Converse and they're talking like they are coming from a 1950s Mets game. You know what I mean? So like, there's certain things like they would be like, oh, bucko, like, what?
I know.
Why I oughta.
Well, you could, yeah.
And so some of that, or like some of the accents were like, and that's kind of like, I think the relationships that were built were good, but some of the dialogue, I was like, I was like, again, no one has talked like this since they filmed the movie Grease. You know what I mean? Like, so if you aren't giving us a time period, but like, but it's like kind of modern, but it's kind of not.
And I think that's just the writing. I think no one will ever truly be able to write kids. And even when they do, like, I swear, I still have never seen it. Like, I've never seen someone really be able to accurately write kids.
I'm just like, why is Jimmy Stewart on this walk?
Teenagers dialogue.
You know, like.
But, But all that being said, though, like, this movie, like, I truly thought, again, we saw it last Tuesday, I have not stopped thinking about it. Like, it was, to me, just such a like, it was brutal, but it was, like, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was so emotional.
Beautifully brutal.
It was, like, beautiful. It was so powerful. Like, and it was just, like, again, it was just, like, shockingly emotional. I didn't cry, but there were, like, multiple moments where I literally, like, I had, like, my sweatshirt like up to my face, just like I felt like I was about to start crying. And it was over just like dialogue. Like, it wasn't even like something really incredible was happening. It was just like, I don't know. It really got to me for some reason. That and the shitting scene, but like,
well,
I felt it was like very emotional.
I have been like really emotional just about like death in like cinema. Like, I told you, I literally was like wailing about Jane Austen dying at the end. Like, I was like, I'm crying over a dead woman who I knew was going to die. And like during this, like, there's the one where the religious guy, like, that one was the death that really got me. It was so sad because the thing is, it's like, they didn't want, obviously none of them had to die. And two, like, it's just, like, you're making a decision. Yeah. Like, you know what's coming, and it's just, like, it's horrific.
And
And I think, like, it's interesting, again, that they are showing, like, they literally, again, they show these kids getting shot in the face.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, is very poignant for our current, time period of like, maybe we don't need to turn away from this violence. Maybe we need to see actually how like horrific it is, because if we're not seeing it, then maybe it's not feeling as real, and it's very real.
It's very real. Like I said, I mean, they went there. Like, they really did.
Yeah.
And that part, it is so upsetting too, because one part I thought was interesting was, like, again, like, they're all bonding with each other. They're all so helpful, or at least, especially the two main characters. They're very good boys, and they're very, like, they really wanted it, like, even though they're competing against each other, it's like they wanted to help others, which you would think, like, you'd be like, okay, don't help them because now this walk is going to go on longer, but they really do. They're so encouraging. Because, like, I feel like I don't think they're thinking of it like that, because they're just like, these are boys that I now, like, love, basically, and, like, but it was interesting because I was just going to say, like, at one point, finally, like, somebody's like, okay, we've got to stop helping each other. Because, like, and, they're kind of like, no, but, like, Cooper Hoffman's character's like, no, like, he's right. Like, we do need to stop helping each other. Yeah. And he says at the beginning, he's like, they always say, like, don't make friends on the long walk because it's not going to, like, help you. Yeah. And it's like, but how wouldn't you? You're just silently walking for 6 days. So you have to, like, talk to these people, or, like, get some sort of distraction. You can't put a podcast on, Right. They know. Unless it's this one. I know. You could put this one on. They know everything about each other, basically, by the end of it. And so it's just, like, I thought it was just, and then, again, this movie, like, really hinges on their friend, the two, like, Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson's characters' friendship. Yeah. And it's just, like, it's somehow, like, wholesome and lovely during such a brutal situation. Yeah. I think, like, one of the least believable parts of it, though, was they were like, oh, it's televised. And I'm like, yeah, this would be the most, okay, granted, people are dying, but it's like, this is the most boring, if this happens every year. And I forgot it was televised. Yeah, I'm like, one, where are the cameras? Two, like, there were none. I mean, there were, but, like, where? Yeah, they didn't show them. I guess they were on the military, like, the And also, if I were doing this production, I'd be putting one of those little podcast speakers on their shirts. I'd be like, let's hear a reality show. Yeah, let's hear what's happening. Yeah, I was like, that is like, because the Hunger Games makes sense being televised. Yeah, and they really show that, but it's not like they show. And the thing is, they're like, this is supposed to, like, encourage productivity and spirit to show, like, how much determination people have, and I'm like, in what way? And I forgot that it's meant to, like, inspire, because I thought it was meant to, like, kind of make to help. It's almost like a Thanos situation, which I would almost understand, because then it's like, oh, trying to get rid of the population a little bit. So maybe. But it seems like there's nobody around. I know. So. Well, and the thing about televised, they almost don't need to do that. They could just do it like a marathon where people are just on the sidelines watching, because especially towards the end. But they don't allow it. They do. They do. At the end. But they only allow, like, if you live in the town, then you can watch the people. Yeah, because one girl had, like, a sign for the... It was like, go, Garrity! Yeah, because he's from there. Yeah. But they go through, at the end is when, like, the crowds are watching these two people. Yeah. And, again, they're friends. They don't want to... Yeah. They want the other to live. And that's, like, another thing where I was like, okay, so they're just walking along highway, but... Like, maybe, like, at one point they're going uphill and then it rains twice. But I'm like, I don't know. Are they going to walk through a field? We're just doing straight highway? No, and my question was, so, they can't go below 3 miles per hour. But they can, I assume, go over. Yeah. So I was like, well, what if one of them, they didn't have a rule about one of them running ahead? Yeah. Well, because then you'd run out all your energy, and then... I'd just keep going. I'd keep running. And then... For 6 days? No, listen. So at one point, one of them, because by the end of the movie, let's say it's like day 5, they're desperate. They're like ready to die. Because they're just out of it. I mean, at some point, you'd really, like, you'd be out of it. Like, you wouldn't even be, like, there anymore. And one guy just, they really show that too. They show the effects of, like, mental illness during the walk. But then they show, like, one guy, he just, like, runs. He makes a run for it. And he tries to run to a store, and he gets shot. But I was like, well, what if, like, somebody just ran ahead and just really ran? Would they go after them? Because probably. I know you're saying, like, oh, you can't do that for 6 days. But if they just, like, really ran ahead, they could just hide. They could run off. And I'm going to ask you this question. I don't, like, mean this in a rude way, but, like, no offense. Could you possibly be? How fast do you think you can run? Because they're, like, on tanks. Well, that's what I was asking. Could they chase after them? I think they would have to. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. I thought you were saying, like, you're going to outrun a tank, and I was like... Gosh. I was trying to be like, well, I think they outrun.
I think as your friend, I think you can do anything. However, I do think that's a limitation.
Well, I didn't know if they chase after them because
I
they
think
can
go as fast
because
there's multiple.
That's what I would do. I would try it at least. I would try it. I would just run.
Well, that's why even when they first started it and they were like, we're starting, and some of them like were like speed walking ahead, I was like,
you gotta be the turtle.
Yeah.
Not
the
hare.
Exactly 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's the bent.
But that's interesting. There was something else I was gonna say just about.
Oh, I was going to say also, like, I was saying this to you, I was like, Stephen King loves to take I read this once where he loves to challenge himself with, like, the basis of plots, like, as in, like, not BASIS, but basist of plots, and he was talking about Misery, where it was like, okay, well, with Misery, I was like, okay, I just have 2 people in a room, and then he was like, and then Gerald's Game, I said, let's take one of them away, and let's see what I can write, and I'm like, I bet with this one, he was just like, okay, people, we're just walking. Yeah. Just how can we make this a story?
And it is. Some people, I mean, so we saw it with friend of the pod, Megan, and she kind of thought it was a little, I think she thought it felt like it went on for a long time. Yeah.
I did not. Was great.
I thought it was paced very well. Yeah. For a movie about walking. I was like, this is I felt like it was one of the most intense movies I've seen in a while. Like I felt like I was just like on the edge of my seat. And kind of hiding my face a lot of the movie. Like, it just was, like, really intense. And, again, about something so, they're just walking. But obviously the stakes are high. I thought it was really well-paced. I thought it was only an hour 45 or something like that, which, love that time.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing, oh, my gosh. So we're seeing one battle after another.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So we'll talk about that next week. But that movie's almost 3 hours.
God, talk about a long walk.
I'm happy to see that movie because I'm happy to see it, but I'm also
great reviews, but
I'm interested to see how are they going to fill 3 hours. Better be a good 3 hours.
We talk about this all the time. You want to bring cinema back to cinemas? It can't be 3 hours or have an intermission. Like, people are just like, so many people are just not going to see it if it's like a 3-hour movie in a theater.
I saw something recently, though, where it was like, I want to say it was Reese Witherspoon. She said in an interview, like, that movie theaters aren't doing well because like young people aren't seeing movies, and everyone was
I heard the same thing.
And you know what's crazy is like I totally disagree with that. I think like the majority of people right now are young people.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because she was like they're watching a lot of clips of things, and I do think that's true, but I do think like I don't know, a 3+ hour movie, it's gonna be a lot harder to get people into the theater.
Yeah.
If you can't, also, I think from a storytelling perspective, if you can't say it in 2 to 2.5 hours, you're saying too much.
Mm-hmm. True.
Challenge yourself. Kill your darlings. Cut some pages. You know what I mean?
You got to.
We should give a trigger warning for potential mentions of self-harm. But
back to the long walk. I loved the movie. I thought
it was great.
I've been thinking about it every day.
I don't think it's going to get any nominations for anything, but I do think it was a good watch. No, but it's the best movie we've seen in a while. I think.
Know what? I am excited to see where Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson go from here.
Yeah,
because I just truly. think they are phenomenal. Both of them are phenomenal. Like I really, they both really made me feel something.
They're stars on the rise.
Your star is rising, #2. That's a line from Austin Powers.
And you know what? Cooper Hoffman, Nepo Baby I support.
Nepo Baby, who I just am like, he is truly like living his dad's legacy. I'm not sure how to phrase that. But he is... Oh, and that was another thing he said, talking about this movie, was like, he kind of had to, because in the movie his father is killed, and he said, like, when your trauma is, like, lived out in the world for everyone to see, which is awful.
Wait, did his dad die?
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
Years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was in high school because I remember my AP Lit teacher, she said something after he died. She made a comment like, well, it was his fault. I always blame, like, I never feel sorry for people who die from drug overdoses because it's their fault. And I was like, you psycho. And I was even crazy. As like a 16 or 17-year-old.
I thought you were saying his high school teacher said that, but
no,
yours
my
also
teacher,
awful.
Awful. I literally was like,
Why would she
he
say
has
that to
children?
you?
Like, I was like horrified.
Wow.
She said it to like the class because he had just died. So it definitely.
Well, that's a crazy thing
where
for
I was
a teacher
going with
to
this
say.
was that he died when we were in high school because I remember that her saying that and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like,
that is so wild.
He has a family.
Wow.
But I think Cooper is amazing, and I just am I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes, like with his career, because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But our question of the week was what item would you bring with you if you had to walk 200 miles without stopping?
Yeah. And if you ever want to answer our question of the week, follow us at Poppin In Podcast on Instagram. We post a question each week. It's usually thought-provoking or fun or a little flirty. Respond to us because we like to know your answers. We love a good convo.
Yes.
So what?
Yes, we do.
What was your answer? I'm curious.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I feel like you can guess mine. That's why I want to know.
I'm worried.
Yours I don't know. You have things that you, like, I don't know.
So here's the thing. So
Okay.
that was a lot of dead air. But here's the thing is I don't think we made it clear, like, would this be now? Because some of our answers are, like, based on if it would be now.
I think if it's, it would be now.
Okay. I would say, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm taking yours. Why don't you go first?
Well, mine's going to be the thing. If anyone knows me, they know what I'm known for. And it's going to be Advil.
Yeah.
If I'm doing anything, if I'm walking through Disney, if I'm going, I always have Advil on me, stocked and ready. It's my answer to whenever people are like, what would you take back in time with you? Advil. Always. I don't give a fuck about penicillin. I don't care about water. Advil. Get me that little coated pill. Now I sound like a drug addict, but that's what I would do. Because the thing is, it's like, I am a migraine girly, but also, like, the amount of pain and stuff that you're in, like, you would need something.
You really would.
Also imagine, like, if this were women, like, having started your period or something on, like, the first day of the long walk, that would happen to me.
And what comes with period? Often...
period shits.
Yeah. And, well, so... I don't know. So I was actually also... I was going to say, like, Tylenol.
There's two types of girls, Tylenol and Advil.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I also get really bad headaches. And also, you're right. I mean, just for even, like, if your legs are aching.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm a baby back bitch. So, like, I literally will need
Baby back bitch? You're the only person I've ever heard say it. That's not, like, a phrase, but it's very funny to me that you say it.
I need some pain
baby
relief.
back bitch. It's so funny.
Thank you.
The phrase is baby back ribs, so it's just like really funny to me that you say that.
Baby back bitch.
Yeah.
And I can admit it.
I know. I love that. So am I. God, now I really do. I'm nervous. I don't know. So I think I would, like, I don't know what to say. I thought I had my answer. Gosh. Oh, I know. Okay. No, sorry. I know what I would need. Okay, because I thought this during the movie. Because they cover, I noticed one of them was doing it during the movie. I think it was David Johnson's character. He was brushing his teeth. And I was like, I would absolutely need my toothbrush and toothpaste. I know that sounds crazy. That doesn't sound like much. But, like, I would be disgusted with myself if I couldn't brush my teeth every day.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's an item I would bring.
Like some face wash. Something that, like, keeps a sense of cleanliness to you. That helps you make it through.
What would you do about your contacts? These are all things I think about with apocalyptic stuff.
I think they just wore glasses. Because you're just walking.
I can't walk with glasses. I get dizzy. That's why I hate wearing my glasses.
No,
it's not like the glasses. It's like...
But maybe it's because you don't use
it. Yeah. So, like, what am I going to, like, start that day? I don't wear glasses.
I think you would have to do some prep beforehand if you're signing up for the long walk, you know?
Yeah. I think here's what I would do.
Also, I don't think people are out here in this society affording contacts.
Contacts for 2 days, and then... But see, that's what... So we gotta, like, figure that out, though, because some people's answers are as if it's now. So it's like, we gotta...
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, if we're talking about just us being ourselves... Because Advil might not have existed. No, they probably existed.
I think it was invented in 1973.
Really?
Don't quote me on that.
That's way later than I would have thought.
Maybe I'm thinking of acetaminophen.
Who?
That's the active ingredient in Tylenol, which we now know from breaking news recently. I actually know that because I knew someone who was allergic to it.
See, I got the feeling from you saying that just now that was not a new thing you knew. I felt like you just knew that.
Acetaminophen?
Yeah.
Acetaminophen.
You're just shocking to
hear.
Yeah. So I would bring a toothbrush, toothpaste, because I was like, I saw him brushing his teeth, and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we had a couple of answers. Eric said AirPods. He brought a lot. He's bringing a lot. He said AirPods.
One thing, Eric.
I know.
Sorry.
He said, I guess it's more than one item, but he said AirPods, charging packs, and an epic playlist.
Okay.
Fair. I mean, here's the thing. You run 6 days, you're not going to want to listen to music anymore, because I'll tell you, even on a 7-hour road trip, you don't want to listen to music after a while.
I have a new answer for you. You would bring your iPad.
No, I wouldn't. I thought about that, but what am I going to watch my iPad while I'm walking?
They were sleeping while they were walking.
They were, and that's what I was going to bring up earlier. At one point, they sleep. Cooper Hoffman falls asleep.
Yeah.
And he's just walking. It's not even sleepwalking. It's just walking in your sleep.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, but I guess they point out that, like, your body just gets used to it.
Yeah. It's just like muscle memory.
Memory, yeah. How crazy is that, though?
Yeah. But I thought about AirPods too. And you know what you could download instead of an epic playlist? All the episodes of Poppin In with Alexa and Molly.
You could, you know what?
And that would get you through
most 6 days. Yeah. You'd be laughing.
Crying.
Well, hopefully not crying. We haven't really
I think we've had some really nice emotional moments. Excuse me.
Oh, well, okay.
About our friendship and okay.
Aw.
Yeah.
Not enough to make someone cry, though.
I mean, if you're walking 300 miles, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're losing your mind, you'd be like, this podcast is great.
Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Tune into, download all your, why did I say download? Anyway.
Okay.
Listen to Poppin' In.
This is our long walk. We're breaking.
Matt Chambers said extra socks and boots. Which is true. Yeah. You would have to. But here's the thing. You can't stop to put it on. At one point, one guy has to tie his shoe. Yeah. And he...
You would have to figure out how to put it on.
Hoffman, like, immediately. Oh, somebody has a rock in their shoe, and they have to, like, take it out. It's like, ugh.
Stressful.
God, that
and also, it was, like, almost immediately.
It was. So, here's the thing. So, I am raising an alternative question of the week. How do you think you would die? We didn't want to ask this just because if nobody's watched the movie, we didn't want to ask that. But now that if you're tuned in right now, me too. That's what I said. So I said
every time I'm like go for a walk, I'm like I have to go to the bathroom.
And not only that, so it's not even just the walking, but it's also, you know what, like knowing that you can't do it is like what makes you all of a sudden have to.
Yeah.
Is like what would happen, I think.
No, actually, I would trip. I would hurt myself, and I wouldn't get up within the 10 seconds. Yeah. Like, look at me.
So my other one, not look at you. That's not,
I trip every day. All
I never
day long.
actually have seen you trip, by the way. I just know of the one incident.
Really?
It was kind of wild, but you don't normally trip.
I feel like you definitely have seen me trip.
I've never seen you trip.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you don't trip that often.
Huh.
Unless I'm wrong. The other one, I was so, like, I know that I would get, like, allergies, and it would just be, like, sneezing, and I just would be like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. You would take the gun and just be like, God!
Because they're walking through, like, they're just, yeah. God, you know what really bothered me was when they would take a gun and, like, I guess I'm of the thing of, like, you know, I don't know. I was just kind of like, would you really rather do it yourself or just, well, maybe you'd rather be in control. But I'm getting existential now. But I just was thinking, like, you know, it was awful to see them do it themselves. Like, why wouldn't you just rather it happen to you, you know?
I don't know. That's a tough choice. I don't know if I'd be able to pull trig.
I think I'd truly do it like the guy that ran off.
So that's the long walk. Wow, that was 50 minutes.
I had a lot to say.
Yeah. It was good. It was
I really enjoyed it.
Give it a watch.
I thought it's really stuck with me this whole time. So I think everyone should see it.
Yeah. So on to like another movie. We mentioned this before, because this premiered at Cannes. Whatever. And it's Spike Lee's newest film, Highest to Lowest. So it's on Apple TV now. I was really excited for it. And before I get into it, I will say, like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's gotten very, like, mixed reviews. But basically it's about music mogul David King. He's forced to face a moral dilemma when his son, or so he thinks, is held for ransom. Oh. And I will be getting into...
so he thinks.
I will be getting into spoilers because it's hard to like talk about this movie without kind of explaining the twist. But it stars Denzel Washington as David King. Jeffrey Wright plays his friend and driver Paul. There's also a bunch of like musicians in this movie. So A$AP Rocky is in it. He plays a rapper called Young Felon.
You know, A$AP Rocky is in everything right now. You know, he's in that new movie with Rose Byrne, the one that's like, if I had legs, I would kick you. Or whatever. He's in that too. I'm like, oh. Yeah,
I heard that. And then also like Ice Spice makes an appearance. Like there's like a couple of different actors, but also Dean Winters, who plays Mayhem on the Allstate commercials.
Yeah, I did hear that.
He's a detective in it. Not great acting, and I don't know if it's supposed to be on purpose or not. He like, because the thing is like, there's a lot of things that are being said in this movie, and like Spike Lee's movies, a lot of them like, and I think he hasn't done this a while, but they're really like homages to New York. So they literally open with like the Oklahoma song, and it's like you're seeing like these shining, beautiful like buildings in New York and that sort of thing. But he goes throughout like all these different places in like New York and Brooklyn and that sort of thing that I think really gets into it. But like the first 40 minutes of this film, I literally was just kind of like, I don't know what the tone is, because so it's based off of I guess like people have said like a master, I haven't seen this movie, but it's a master movie by Akira Kurosawa. It's a Japanese film called High and Low, which is then also based off of the 1959 novel called King's Ransom by Ed McBain. But the main thing is it's based off the Kurosawa movie. And actually, so Denzel Washington came to Spike Lee with this script and told him like he should direct it. And so again, you've got Spike Lee, you've got Denzel, you've got Jeffrey Wright. So it's like a really stand-up cast. And it was fine. It's like, so I think there are some interesting things, like literally right from the beginning, Chris was like, oh, this is kind of like Parasite, because it's a lot about class. So David King is, again, he makes like millions and millions of dollars. He's a music mogul. He's a self-built millionaire. And you can see like there's a lot of real estate porn in this movie where it's just like his house is incredible. It's like overlooking the view, which also a question about that for you. But so, and then Paul again is his driver, who like is obviously living a very different life. He's the godson to his children, or to he is the godfather to Denzel Washington's child and vice versa. So basically it starts out they are taking their kids to like this basketball camp together, and they're like, okay, see you like at the end of the day or whatever. And you can tell like his dad's not really paying attention to his son, but is still, there's like a lot of love there or whatever. And then like the day goes on, you're learning that Denzel Washington's character had built up this record label, and he had sold it, and he's trying to like get it back. He's trying, because it's like he spent his whole life building up this thing, and he's like trying to like get back into it. And even his wife is like, you used to like listen to music all the time and love it, blah blah blah. So he's trying to like make this deal, and then he gets home, they're having like a nice night or whatever, and his wife gets a call that their son has been kidnapped. And that's when things start to really pick up. The twist is, so they find out, because originally they're like, I think it's like $17 million is the ransom, which is almost like, he's like, that's almost everything, like we would have to sell our house in Nantucket or whatever it is. And like, it's a rich people conundrum where it's like, oh, we're going to have to get rid of some of our riches. Of our houses, right. But when it's their son, they're like, okay, like we're going to do it. Come to find out, the kidnappers made a mistake, and they stole Jeffrey Wright's son.
No.
And so the Denzel's son comes home, and he's like, yeah, like it was crazy, like we were in the store, and then like the son, like who's his best friend, is missing, blah blah blah. So then
when you said "or so he thinks," I thought you meant like it's not his son. I was like, how did that happen?
No, it's not his son.
Like it's not his biological son. I thought that's what you meant. Like,
okay, no.
He finds out that's not his actual son.
So then it's this whole moral dilemma where it's like, okay, now the and A$AP Rocky's character is the kidnapper. He's like, well, I'm still gonna kill this kid if you don't give me
why don't they
$17 million? And so then it is like an interesting thing, because he's like, okay, so you want me to pay all my life savings? He's like, it's not my son. And that's like, it's interesting because you're kind of like, ugh, but also like Yeah, it is his whole life savings, everything he's worked up towards. And he even, like, has this discussion with, like, one of the people who works at his record label. He's like, well, how bad would it be, like, if I didn't pay the ransom? And, like, the guy has to be like, well, a kid will die. And he's like, yeah. And I'm
surprised that, like, they would still do that. Like, why not just be like, oh, we got the wrong one? Like, knowing, because, like,
because they still want the money.
Yeah, but what if he just was like, fuck you, I don't care about this kid?
Then he was going to kill him. And I think,
then they don't get the money. So why would they do that? You know what I mean?
I think they just don't care. They're just like,
they just
really,
want to kill.
Yeah, they're just like, well, they're just really relying on the fact that, like, okay,
he's a good person. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
Would
it's
they
still
really think about
a
that?
kid. Because they said on, like, they're doing, like, the thing where he's on the phone and they're like, keep him talking because we're trying to, like, pin the location. Yeah. And, like, the guy is like, do you really want this, the kidnapper's like, do you really want this boy's blood on your hands? And he's like, he's not my son, but it's his godson. What's crazy, it's
I thought Jeffrey Wright was his god.
No, so, like, Jeffrey Wright and Denzel's characters are, like, lifelong friends, and so they are godparents to each other's sons.
So they are. Okay, got it.
So it's, like, it's also a kid that he's, like, maybe it's not his biological son, but,
yeah, then yeah. He should.
The thing is, so he has a wife in this.
I like how before I was kind of like, well.
And I'm gonna say her name wrong. It's, like, Ilfinesh Hedera, plays his wife. Literally pointless character. She's just like, no, we're not gonna give them the money.
Unfortunately, that's often how. Do you ever watch a movie and you're like, what was the point of them paying this person? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, and I'm putting that on the writers of the movie. I'm like, what was the point of writing this character?
Literally, if you took her character out, nothing about the movie would change.
I feel that often about kids too. Like, sometimes there's kids in movies and I'm like, you just paid this kid to do nothing.
That's what I think about in Stranger Things, where they have, like, the other sibling, the other Wheeler sibling. I'm like, why is this child here?
Girl, yeah. I think of that. I especially think it in Game of Thrones. There's one of those. There's a kid who I'm like, I swear they did not. I know he's in the books, but I'm like, they didn't need him in the show. Yeah. He's the youngest sub kid, and they never show him.
Yeah.
He's so pointless.
So, like, anyway. The wife is just like, when he's like, I don't want to give them the ransom, she's like, let's not. And then he's like, I'm going to give them ransom. And she's like, okay. You know, like, it's just things like that. And it takes the son being like, when they're still trying to debate, the son is like, Dad, I'm getting, like, if you don't pay this ransom, like, it's on me. I'm getting, like, roasted on social media, basically. Not roasted, but, like,
public.
Yeah, like, people know that this has happened.
And he just pay? It's one house. It's one house.
And it's clear, like, it's one house, but he's not going to be able to buy back his business, like, everything that he's built over years. And someone I was listening to, they were like, it is very boomer problems, where it's like, why should I have to give up my wealth for this thing that I apparently have to do?
But how do they know also that they don't get the money and then just kill him anyway?
You never know that with a ransom.
That's what I mean.
Know?
So that's...
so eventually he does have to do it, and it's this whole scene that's actually, I think, one of the best scenes of the movie, where he's like, A$AP Rocky's character is like, okay, well, you're gonna get on this subway, and we're gonna, like, get it from you at this point or whatever. And of course, like, the police are like, okay, we're gonna do this, but we have this other plan to get it, whatever. And it's actually so funny, because he's on the subway, it's during, like, a Mets game, so they're all like, yeah, go Mets, like, freaking out. And then it's also, like, he's, like, trying to go through the subway grates, and, like, these kidnappers are so smart because it goes over this, like, one bump. Like, you can tell, like, they take the subway every day. Like, they know the route, and he's, like, in between the things, and the bag of $17 million just falls from Denzel in between the cracks right to a waiting, like, ransom person, who then, like, goes, like, the police, like, see that he's doing it. He goes through this crowd of, like, it's like a Puerto Rican festival that's happening, so there's, like, all of these people, whatever, gets lost in the crowd. They think they've got the guy, but then it ends up being the wrong guy. So now they've lost the $17 million. The kid is back. The kid comes, they let the kid go, but now, like, David King is like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That's my whole life. So the police are absolutely useless throughout this whole thing. I was going to say,
why is he doing this?
And you can tell, so it's interesting, like, the class division between him and his friend Paul, Jeffrey Wright, because when they thought that it was David's son who was missing, the whole time the police are like, okay, sir, like they're just being, like, nice about it or whatever. And then when it's Paul's son, they treat him like absolute dirt. They're just like, sir, can you calm down? Can you calm down? And Jeffrey Wright's character's like, my fucking son has been kidnapped. Like, why are you telling me to calm down, but you didn't tell this other wealthy man to calm down? So anyways, so there's, like, the divisions in that. And so basically Denzel's character takes it upon himself. He's like, fuck the police. I'm gonna figure this out on my own. And like they go back to like where they grew up, and which is basically where A$AP Rocky's character lives, and he figures out who it is because the kid, when he was kidnapped, there's this song that was playing like the whole time. It's actually a catchy song. Like I went back and listened to it. It's a catchy rap song. And so then he's like listening to this playlist that his son had sent him like weeks ago. He never listened to, and finally he does. He's like, oh, this is the song.
Oh gosh.
So that's how he figures out who it is, which is kind of like eye roll cringe. And so then he like goes and he finds the rapper's house, and his wife and child are there. He's not there. And also the number on the door is A24, the apartment number.
Is it an A24 movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, okay, interesting. That I was like, I don't know if this is like obviously it's purposeful, but I'm like, I wonder if like this was Spike Lee's decision or the production studio. But anyways, and basically they finds out like, oh, the kid has been named after him. A$AP Rocky's character is a huge fan of his, who's been trying to get his attention for like years and years, listens to all of his podcasts, like all like, and she's just like, the wife's like, he would be so amazed that you were here right now, because she doesn't know that he's like kidnapped the child and stuff. And she was like, he would be so amazed that you're here right now. And he's just like, well, thank you, I appreciate that. Where is his recording studio? And she tells him, and he goes there, and that's when they have like kind of this rap battle between him and A$AP Rocky that some people loved. I was like, this is corny as hell. I don't appreciate this.
Like Denzel and
yeah, and it's like, it's not like a 8 Mile rap battle. He's just like saying, he's like, I'm gonna out rap you. So he's like on one side of the recording wall and the other one, and he's just like, I don't know, laying some bars to kind of, because I think like he's like, okay, you wanted me to pay attention to your music, I'm paying attention to your music. And he's like, you should do this on this like track or whatever. And A$AP Rocky's like, I've been spending my whole life trying to get your attention, and now I got your fucking attention. And then there's like this kind of weird shootout, and I honestly, like, I think that's how it ends, is like eventually like the police come and like they arrest him after like Denzel has basically been like, hey, I got the guy. Give me my $17 million back.
I got him through a rap battle.
Yeah, and so it's just like the things that the tonality of it is so weird. Like Denzel Washington is such an interesting actor. Like he is phenomenal, but it's like he plays characters so well where it's like all in like the eyes and his smile, where you can never really tell if he's like a good guy or a bad guy. In the beginning, you're like, oh, he loves his wife, he loves his kids, but then he's like, well, I'm not going to pay that for not my kid. Yeah. Or like, you know, like there's certain things where it's just like he's doing it, and it's like he's kind of a morally gray character, but so is Jeffrey Wright, where I'm here to say,
what did he do? His son got kidnapped.
They're acting their asses off in these roles. Love Jeffrey Wright. Meanwhile, the other actors around them, mediocre at best, like not great. But like Jeffrey Wright, like the whole time you're kind of like, oh, maybe he's in on this, and then you're like, maybe he's not, and then you're like, maybe he is in on this. You know what I mean?
What? Jeffrey Wright?
Like his character, where it's like maybe he's like his son is, because it's like, and that's what I think is like the best part of the movie to me personally, is just seeing this dynamic between these two friends, where it's like, it's literally as if like, you know, you thought that your kid was kidnapped, but it's actually mine, and now it's like me begging you to like, please pay your life savings and everything you own so my kid doesn't die. But then also me being like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like nobody could see what I was doing. Where it's just like the expressions that he's doing the whole time are kind of like, they're such good eye actors. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, who are these people? And like, what's going on? Yeah. The things I really hated about it, again, like some of the conversation was strange. Like just the writing was very odd to me. And then they do this thing where I think it's like an homage to the original like 1960s version, but there's this sweeping, dramatic, like orchestral music that you would hear in like a 1950s movie. Like people are coming in and out of a room, or they're like having like, it's dead silent, and then suddenly it's just so out of place.
I did hear some interesting, like, I heard some critiques about the music in the movie. I think, and the opening credits. For some reason, there was like a lot of talk about the opening credits.
Interesting. Yeah. It was like, that was the worst part. Like, it really ruined the movie for me, because it just didn't match the tone. And it was just kind of like, I don't know, strange. Like, it just... Yeah. And so I think, like, it's a really interesting concept of, like, my son is not kidnapped. Actually, your son is. Mm-hmm. Great concept. Overall, it was fine. like, I wouldn't recommend it. It wasn't my favorite Spike Lee film.
Yeah.
It felt like a little bit of, like, boomery issues of, like, oh, I have all this wealth and now I have to give it up. And, like, the writing was strange. The actors were, besides Denzel and Jeffrey Wright, meh. Actually, A$AP Rocky does a great job, I will say. But he is playing a rapper. So, it is kind of... But he holds his own against Denzel, which I would imagine is, like, I would be scared to act with him.
Yeah.
So I think he does a good job there, but it was fine overall. I don't know. I was going to ask you something.
I was like, what was the question you were going to ask me? It was when you were talking about real estate.
Oh, I was going to ask you, if you were a millionaire, would you live in, like, the penthouse of one of those crazy tall buildings? Because me personally, it's a no.
I was actually thinking that recently. And I also would say no, just because I wouldn't want to live up there.
Yeah, I'd be scared.
I'd rather have a house.
I don't want that view. I want a regular view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to feel the wind blow.
I think I would feel slightly safer in terms of, like, potential stalkers or someone trying to break into my house, like, place.
Yeah.
I think you're at more of a risk when you live in a house, but when you're up in a penthouse, it's harder. I mean, people have to get through into the apartment building.
Yeah.
But no, I would not. I would rather have a house, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess, well, because he lives in New York City, so it's like, but I would get like a brownstone or something.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Like, I'm very anti-modern architecture. I would
have like a Logan Roy house. You know,
yeah.
In brownstone. Like, right? Does he live in brownstone or does he live in an apartment? I guess
it's like the biggest brownstone you've ever seen type of thing. Like, it's not an apartment.
He goes up an elevator, though.
It's like he owns like a whole building.
I guess he owns,
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, I think I would do that.
Yeah, it's just like, so again, concept interesting, execution, not my favorite, not my favorite. But
has he had a movie since BlacKkKlansman before this?
I think so. This is his first movie in 5 years, so maybe BlacKkKlansman would have been the last one.
You know, BlacKkKlansman wasn't my favorite Spike Lee film either.
It wasn't my favorite, but I liked it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always Do the Right Thing for me. And I haven't seen, like, his complete oeuvre, but, like, that was the first one that I saw, and I remember being like, okay, I get it.
I think that's his best one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah. So breaking news.
Yeah.
As of yesterday.
Speaking of, like, music artists who are also actors now suddenly.
Okay, Bad Bunny is really getting on the TV screens.
He is. But we were just talking about him too, where we're like, he's in a lot of things lately.
Because he's gonna be in The Devil Wears Prada 2. I don't know why.
I knew that.
I don't know what he's doing in it.
I know where we're going, but did you see Meryl Streep was at the
Vogue.
Rogan. She was dressed as Miranda.
Yeah.
And she was like,
they were hugging each other.
I was like, wow.
That's crazy. Wow, what a time.
And Stanley Tucci was there.
Yeah. So Bad Bunny is going to be at the Super Bowl, and
he's going to be the headliner.
He's not going to be. He's just a fan.
He's going to be attending the Super Bowl.
He just really loves American football.
He's headlining the halftime show.
Okay, I have a question, because I feel like it was a few weeks ago you told me it was Adele.
Yeah, they had said that. There was, like,
where did you hear
about that? I don't know why. I noticed that night, too, everyone was like, I don't think that's been announced. Like, everyone was, like, coming at me, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I saw it, like, on Twitter.
It wasn't that I was coming at you. I was like, oh, it just seemed like an interesting...
And I knew someone was going to do that today, so, like, you guys were going to be like, I thought you said Adele. Like, I literally
because I really, like, again, I didn't look
up... It was, like, people were saying on Twitter, and I wouldn't just say that, like, from reading, like, a random thing.
If anything, it should be, like, a testament to my blind faith in you. I looked up nothing about it. I said, Molly said it's going to be Adele. It's going to be Adele. You know what I mean?
Well, because I saw, like, posts about it. And I'm one to, like, really not just trust any post. So it was definitely something that was, like... They said rumor, and I said rumored. I didn't say it was, like, announced, but it was. I was like,
I was just like, it's interesting. Like, I just can't picture Adele. Like, I love Adele, but at the Super Bowl, like, an interesting vibe. I was like, Bad Bunny makes more sense. And I'm really excited for it.
So, and I'm going back, according to Page 6, she was reportedly in talks to perform at the halftime show. And there was Parade, Page 6, like multiple outlets had announced that.
Interesting.
Pop Bass, which again, I think I had seen like Pop Bass, but they usually do like like are accurate. And so that didn't just come out of my ass. I really did like see that. And then
Not like on the long walk.
She had actually, I guess a couple days ago, and this I don't know, but she had declined it, so not sure if that's accurate. But it was like I wasn't just like lying about that or making it up. People were like outlets were reporting that.
I believed you when you said it.
Well, I could just sense it. But
but it's gonna be Bad Bunny.
Adele, it's Bad Bunny.
And friend of the pod, Tanya. I literally was like, because Chris told me she's the biggest Bad Bunny man. Bad
Bunny man.
What is wrong with me? Bad Bunny fan. She literally went to Puerto Rico this year because she was like, I just want to be where he's from. And I was like, whoa. But I was texting her, I was like, Chris is saying that they're going to announce during the halftime of the game he was currently watching that it's going to be Bad Bunny. And she was like, you have to let me know. She was like at a concert or something.
Like, yeah. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, his shows are
thrilled.
His shows in Puerto Rico are really crazy.
I bet his shows are in general very fun. Like, I'm excited for this halftime show.
Have you seen how he does them? It's like, everybody's like on stage, like he brings out like, because there's been a lot of celebrities at his shows lately. There's one really funny video of John Hamm like on stage with him, because it's not like, it's almost like it's like his home, like it's like he's like they're on stage with him, and there's like a really funny one of John Hamm dancing, and it's like, okay, John Hamm. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting. Yeah.
I think it'll be, I think it's going to be phenomenal. I already love the promo post they did where it was like one where it's like kind of zooms in. It's on his face and it like zooms out and he's just sitting on like a goalpost.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you call them, right? I don't know. We all know what we're watching the Super Bowl for.
Yeah.
And it's not the game.
No. It's that there's just a game during a concert.
Yeah, exactly.
And commercials.
But yeah, so that's all we really have to say about it. It's just very exciting.
Yeah.
Excited for the fans and excited for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
But speaking of football players, so this is just like an interesting, it's not like a big deal. I just thought when I was looking it up, it made me kind of laugh, and I know it's not funny, but so apparently outside of Travis Kelce's, I think it's his Kansas City home, a person was trying to serve Taylor Swift papers in the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case and got arrested for trespassing. And it just like really, I think they must have, obviously not known that he was trying to serve her legal papers, but it just really reminded me of, it's like such a trope in movies where it's just like this person comes up and they're just like, oh, hey man, like, how's it going? Are you, Molly Ringwald? And they say, yeah. And then they're like, you've been served. I'm
confused how that would happen, because somebody who would serve would know the rules. So like, how would they know? How would they just jump a fence thinking that's okay?
Well, I don't know, because so he got arrested and charged with misdemeanor criminal trespassing, because I don't think they can I think they can knock on your door, but obviously like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's home is like guarded,
So what makes them, okay, I'm curious what that means then. Like, what would make that trespassing but not like on our property? And I mean that seriously, like just because they have gates, I guess?
I think so. Okay. Like if they came up to your doorbell and like rang the door, they could do that. Right. But I don't think like they could climb your fence, Yeah. But like usually
I guess that was a dumb question, but I just was like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they could probably like buzz in at the gate or whatever they have.
Right.
And that would be fine. But as soon as they climb over it, then I think like you can't really do that.
So can anyone put up a gate in front of their house and then be like, you're trespassing?
I think if you're on, I don't know.
I guess that's my question.
I didn't look up that specificity of
Well, you need to find out.
I'm curious. But I don't know why I thought it like really funny. Made me laugh, but I know it's like serious. And I didn't realize, I was like, wait,
wild, yeah.
I hadn't been, honestly, with all the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff, I hadn't really been paying attention. I was like, wait, why is he serving Taylor Swift? But I guess because, so prior to this, Taylor Swift had agreed to sit down for a deposition for the case, but then later her lawyer, like literally the next day, her lawyer was like, she did not agree to that, and then gave some dates of availability if she is forced to be deposed. But then a judge said that she couldn't be deposed because Justin Baldoni took too long to, like, depose her.
What? Can we depose this whole... I don't know if that made sense, but I'm so over it. I don't give a shit anymore. I thought this was over.
I don't care anymore either. And basically, it's like for her text messages with Blake Lively. And I've kind of been...
I was also at the house when the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like that would also be a reason. But
I've kind of been hearing, like, on the periphery that her and Blake Lively aren't even really, like, friends anymore now because of this.
But we don't know that for sure, so I'm just sick of hearing about it. Do you know what I mean? It's all, like, hearsay. It's like, until I find out, until she writes a song about it, I am uninterested.
Yeah, and it's just, until she writes a song about it.
You know, like, I want to hear a song about the, like, whatever. But this has been going on for too long. I thought it was over, first of all.
Yeah.
And I just am like, are we still on this? And the thing is, this really does confuse me because, like, somebody who's serving papers, again, would know not to hop a fence.
Well, apparently he was, like, a former, I think, like, police officer and then turned, like, private investigator. So I think maybe he, I don't know.
He forgot the law.
Just, like, doing some private investigation kind of thing.
Maybe he didn't know it was, like, the fence to their
house.
Well, you wouldn't hop a fence, I guess.
He's just like, oh, oops.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
How did I end up here?
That's crazy. Are you Travis
Is this
Kelce?
Travis Kelce's house?
That would be a brilliant way to do it. You're like on like a one of those like celebrity tours, and you know sometimes they'll be outside the house, and you just be like wow,
you've been served.
Oh my god, is this Travis Kelce's house? Are you Travis Kelce? You've been served.
The wildest one, and again, we always say this, but I wish we had been we had this podcast when I almost said It Ends With Us. Don't Worry, Darling came out because the wildest serve was when Olivia Wilde was on stage.
That was crazy.
I think the premiere of her movie, or maybe not premiere, but she was somehow talking about the movie
I think she was winning an award or something.
No, she wasn't winning an award. She was like talking about it. 'Cause I think others were on stage with her. I want to say... I don't know if it was like Comic-Con. It was like somewhere. Like it was some festival, something. And somebody came on stage and served her papers.
I think it's the divorce papers. And people blamed Jason Sudeikis for it, but Sudeikis, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think like he came out with that.
He was like, I didn't want that.
Yeah, I don't think like you get to choose how the person serves you papers. Like
it is like,
and they try to usually do it in a public setting where it's like, yeah, you can't run away. So it's, I don't know. It's interesting that they were trying to do it at at Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's house. I don't know if they were there at the time even.
You know what's crazy though is like, okay, so in that case, this really has me thinking like, what do you do in that situation? Because like, okay, if you were trying to serve papers to Taylor Swift, how would you even get to her?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think maybe this person was desperate.
Well, and that's the thing.
Because you can't mail it. Like, you literally have to be in person. You have to be like, oh, are you Taylor Swift? And she has to say yes, and then you'd be like, you're served.
Right, but, like, if she has bodyguards every second she goes somewhere. So, like, how would you do that? And also, I mean, at that point, could a police officer not do it? You know what I mean? Like, somebody, like, official and not just, like, some guy.
I don't think police officers, I think it has to be some sort of official. Yeah. Because I've never seen or heard of a police officer
No, but that's what I'm saying is, like, literally, what do you do in that situation? But that's not fair.
I guess climb the fence to their mansion.
I guess that was sort of the start of my whole question. That probably came off dumb, but like, what do you do in that situation, and how is that really fair if like a celebrity could easily dodge that by having guards around them and not talking to somebody? Whereas like if you're just on the street going to Pilates or whatever and somebody comes up to you.
Right. Yeah, that is, I don't know.
Actually, what do you do if somebody just straight up does not say who they are? Like if you cannot get somebody to say like I think like you have to on stage, like she comes out on stage, I'm Taylor Swift, and like somebody's like, you've been served. Dude, I don't think she ever announces she's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they're like in like the most expensive seats, and they're just crawling onto stage.
It's one of the, you know how like
in it's her backup guitarist or something.
Oh my god,
she says it.
You know,
it's like
guitar on the Eras tour. I guess there's always like a little kid in the front that gets to do something. I don't know what if it was the kid who served her.
I'm picturing like you know how Justin Bieber used to bring up like one less lonely girl.
Like, are you Justin Bieber?
Yeah, you've been served. It's like a 15-year-old girl.
That's probably why that guy did it on stage, though, for Olivia Wilde, because she had announced who she was.
Yeah, because I think, like, that's also probably why police officers aren't doing it, because, like, can you imagine how much time it would take up to be like, excuse me, ma'am, are Are you Olivia Wilde? Are you Taylor Swift? You know what I mean? To be like, are you Molly Golson?
But see, I feel like if a police officer came up to you, you'd be quicker to say, like, yes than, like, just a random guy, right?
I mean, if you're really, like, I mean, I don't think, like, Taylor Swift is trying to evade the law, but if she were.
But
like,
that's what I mean is, like, if she were, like, I don't think Taylor Swift would say it to a rando, but, like, if it were, like, an official person.
I guess maybe they're just trying to make sure.
And these are really questions I have. And I'm being genuine. I'm actually asking if somebody could answer. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so that's just, like, interesting. The guy's out on bond.
Oh.
What? So, or sorry, bail.
I was gonna be like, what did he do? But he did. Like,
yeah.
Let him out.
Back to the beginning. Yes.
Yeah, never mind.
He was doing his civil duty.
I know, but just wrong. Really.
That
wrong.
would be, and I don't know if you get to pick like what papers. Like, imagine you're just like,
you're
I'm going into work. I'm getting
Taylor
served.
Swift.
You're
Beyonce.
Like, this says Beyonce Knowles Carter. Not sure about that.
Yeah.
You just get a ticket for the Bayhive. You're just like, I guess, gotta do it.
Damn, I have to buy you. You're on Ticketmaster trying to like get.
You're just like, oh, I'll submit an expense report for this one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was
that's wild.
Yeah, crazy. But okay, I want to get into something else that was this show. You were like, okay, this is also crazy.
I was like, what?
Sorry. Let me like say a full sentence. This show, it's called The Girlfriend. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's kind of like a sleeper thing, but it's been like a hit lately.
Yeah, you loved this show.
I love this show. It's 6 episodes. It stars Olivia Cooke and Robin Wright, and basically the premise is about so it stars Robin Wright as Laura, and her picture-perfect life starts to unravel when her son brings home a new girlfriend named Cherry. She becomes convinced that
Cherry.
Yes.
Get out of here,
they make
Cherry.
a lot of jokes about it. She becomes convinced that Cherry is a manipulative social climber, or is she just being paranoid? I'm telling you,
I'm gonna guess the mom's the problem.
It's both. It's both. Because that's the thing.
Cherry Lane.
Yeah, that's
her name.
And they like don't know, like she's about to meet the parents for the first time. And you have to understand, again, they are very wealthy. So there's a lot of property porn because Olivia Cooke's character is literally a real estate agent to these wealthy people. But she's like about to meet the parents for the first time, and someone's like, her name is Cherry. What is she, a prostitute? And they don't know that she can hear her. So you can see like her face is kind of like, oh, like upset as you would be. And then she like makes a joke. She was like, yeah, you should like, you don't want to know how many jokes I got about like making or popping cherries in high school or whatever. And so they never explain why her name is Cherry. I think it's just supposed to be like, her name is Cherry.
It's probably short for Cheryl.
No, I think her name's just Cherry. Because you see, like, some of her official Cheryl. Shania Twain.
Her parents named a baby Cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, baby Cherry.
Oh, yeah.
You can do some fun things with that baby
And it sounds weird, but then the more they say Cherry, you're just like, oh, I guess it's just like a name.
Yeah.
But, so basically, like, the show goes back and forth between Laura, Robin Wright's character, and Cherry, Olivia Cooke's character's perspective. So I think it does a really interesting thing where, like, you'll see these certain scenes and you're getting this one idea of the person, and then you'll kind of see it from their perspective, but it's not boring. You're not seeing it beat for beat. You're just seeing, like, the important things, and then it kind of is like they leave the room and you see, like, what they're doing in their life. So it basically is Robin Wright's character. Immediately you're like, something is up with her and her son, Daniel, because the way you're introduced is, like, Robin Wright is, like, swimming in a pool, and she's like, oh, I thought I heard something, but whatever. And then, like, he jumps into the pool, but you don't know it's him. You think it's an intruder. And then the way they're just, like, hugging in their bathing suits and, like, kind of dangling on each other. And, like, it's so strange. And, like, throughout the show, there's, like, all these, like, little beats of, like, oh, like, she clearly is, like, in love with her son and kind of, like, obsessed with him. And then, but also, like, Cherry is in love with her son and, like, wants to be with him. And so in the first episode, you're kind of trying to decide whether or not, like, Cherry is a psychopath, because she does this thing that makes me think that she is, where she's like, oh, don't open the window because the cat will get out. The mom says this. And then the mom very clearly purposely, like, spills hot coffee on Cherry's lap, because you can tell that she, like, automatically doesn't like this person, because she knows she has more control and power over her son now than she does. And then Cherry goes to the bathroom and the cat is in there, and she just opens the window and lets it out. And the cat's, like, gone basically the whole show until the last episode.
Oh.
Like, that's when you're kind of like, oh, is this a sociopath? But then it's interesting because you get these scenes of like Cherry kind of being shitty from Laura's perspective, but then you get Cherry's perspective and it's like, yeah, actually she's in a really tough situation. So
who, Cherry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking, like, what would you do in that situation? Because I feel like I'd be like, no guy is worth this.
Yeah. Well, it gets crazier. So basically, like, they convince Cherry to like come with them to their like holiday in Spain or whatever. And the whole time it's like, oh, their family friends are there, and it's the girl that her boyfriend has lost his virginity to, and they're like flirting and stuff, and the mom's making comments like, oh, like what never could have been, or like, oh, like what don't we wish like this had happened or whatever. And like anytime that Cherry and like Daniel are trying to like go off by themselves, the mom is like, what are you guys doing? Like, I can't believe you. But then you see it from the mom's perspective where it's like she's planned this whole dinner, everyone is there, she has all of Daniel's like favorite foods or whatever, and they don't show up. So you know what I mean? Like, it goes back and forth, and eventually it has this moment where they're like kind of bonding because Cherry gets in the water to like do paddle boarding, and Daniel like leaves her for like with this other girl, and she's drowning, and Robin Wright has to like jump in and save her. So then they start to bond, and she's just like, oh, I can't really swim.
Yeah.
Where it turns, then Robin doesn't trust her again because she finds out that Cherry has put a pig's heart in her ex-boyfriend's wedding cake, who is also like this like very wealthy guy or whatever. And when she goes to confront Cherry about this, guess what Cherry's doing? Swimming in the pool. And she goes, so you can swim. And
what was the point of that? To have her save her?
I guess so. They never like go back to, but I think so. Like,
it's weird.
So they kind of like, you can tell that Cherry is like a little bit manipulative, but then you also, again, when you see it from her perspective, you feel bad for her. So Cherry has kind of like this secret about like, you know, they've had a bunch of wine together before this, and the mom admits some secret that she's like hooking up with her old like fling from college that she dated before Daniel's dad. So they have that. So she's like, I'll keep your secret if you keep mine, type of thing. But then like the mom can't let it go, and she's like, Daniel, he's like a bad, like she's bad. Like she's trying to convince him the whole time. And there's also this underlying plot line of like, Laura and the dad had a child before Daniel who died, and she keeps the room like preserved. Like it's this awkward thing where it's like, in the first episode, Cherry says this thing where she's like, oh, like an only child like Daniel. And then Laura goes, Daniel's not an only child. And everyone's like, what? And it's a child who died before Daniel was born. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like this awkward thing. But so where this, and I described it on here, I said, it's the most interesting twist that's not a twist, but is a twist. So where it gets really good, and this is going to be a huge, huge spoiler. So if you're watching the show right now, like just skip ahead or whatever, so Cherry and Daniel go on this birthday trip, rock climbing, right? And Daniel falls off the side of this cliff and has to go to the hospital. Cherry comes and she's like, oh my God, like, you know, she's like, I want to be with him. And then Laura, the mom, is like, I think you should like leave us. This is a family thing, which is kind of crazy. And she's just like, okay. So she does. During that time, he has surgery, he gets better, and then it's like he basically isn't getting better. And they come and they tell the mom and the dad that he's basically going to be brain dead, and we're going to take him off the ventilator. Oh. So then you see, before he actually does, Robin Wright's character, like, she hasn't been answering Cherry's calls, it's been days, calls Cherry, and she says, I'm sorry, but Daniel died this morning. He's not dead. It has a miracle thing. They take the ventilator, they're about to take the ventilator out, and he, like, takes a gasp of breath, right? So she's now told Cherry that he's dead, which he wasn't even dead when she told him that. And you think, like, that's where the episode ends, and you think, like, okay, she's probably going to go back and at the very least, like, say, like, actually, sorry, I was wrong. You find out that weeks have passed. She's not told Cherry that he's alive. And she, in fact, goes to see Cherry, says, like, oh, I'm sorry about, like, his passing, and, like, we already had the funeral for him. It was just family, and you weren't invited. And Cherry's, like, you can see is, like, devastated. Like, she really loves this guy. And then she proceeds to ruin Cherry's life. So basically she can't be around Daniel. So she, like, posts on Cherry's, like, professional Instagram, this thing that gets her fired. She sells the apartment that Daniel and Cherry were living in without telling her. Meanwhile, she's taken Daniel to their house in Spain where he's getting, like, like, physical therapy. And this is where it gets really crazy. So she's changed Cherry's phone number in Daniel's phone to, like, a different phone that the mom has. So he thinks that Cherry is, like, not replying to her, like, not, you know, that she's just ghosted him. And he starts, like, kind of sending her, like, he's like, oh, don't you miss though? And, like, this though? And, like, is, like, sending her sexting pictures. But the mom, like, is looking at it while the dad is, like, going down on her. And she, like, has to stop the dad. She's like, no, sorry. Like, and it's a weird incestuous thing. But, and then, like, the whole time, because you know it's gonna happen, you're like, they're gonna run into each other, and you're just waiting, and then eventually, like, Cherry's in a job interview, and he's like, yeah, like, she was like, I'm so sorry, like, everything that happened to them after Daniel passed, and the guy's like, passed? What do you mean? He's upstairs having lunch right now. And she's like, what? And she, like, goes upstairs, and because, like, you know, the boyfriend thinks, like, okay, well, he's ignored her, like, she's ignored me this whole time. And she confronts him, and she's like, do you want to know what your mom did? She told me that you died. Like, months and months have passed. She was like, I thought you were dead this whole time. She told me that you died. And it's like, it doesn't sound that crazy, but when it happens, it's like, it's insane. It's like insane. And everyone, so then they eventually get back together, and obviously tensions continue to brew, because now imagine dating someone, but their mom has told you, like, has been so awful to you, has ruined your life, you've lost your savings, you've lost your job and any credibility in your career, and they told you that he was dead. You know what I mean? So it, like, builds...
She should kill her.
Well, it builds and builds to the climax to where Robin Wright's character is kind of going crazy and losing it to the point where she's just trying, like, she goes to Cherry's mom and gets her mom to eventually, like, admit that Cherry has, like, a past of, like, violent behavior, which it's, like, kind of, like, sort of violent, but it's not, like, doesn't sound that crazy. But anyways, and she's trying to explain it to Daniel, but Daniel won't listen to her. So she drugs him. She drugs her son, and she's like, I just need you to, like, hear this, and is trying to play her a voicemail. But then Cherry is like, what are you doing? And then a brawl ensues to where, like, Laura eventually does die. But her phone with the recording of Cherry's mom talking, gets, like, thrown under a couch. And so you see, like, you know, time has passed, flash forward, and Daniel, like, finds the phone under the couch and listens to the recording where the mom is like, Cherry has done some really awful things. And he's, like, watching God. Cherry, now pregnant Cherry, like, in the courtyard with his dad. And he's just like, you can tell his face just like, oh shit, like, who have I married?
I mean, no one worse than who he would have ended up with, his mom.
And so again, like, this, just like highest to lowest, like, there's a whole thing of social class where, like, Olivia Cooke comes from, like, her mom is a butcher and her dad was a construction worker, and you can tell she's trying to, like, fake it till you make it type of thing. Like, you know, is just doing, like, the research and whatever. And I think that part is interesting. Olivia Cooke is so hot. I just have to say, her voice is, like, this kind of, not gravelly, but she's got, like, this deep, like, just sexy voice, and she's so hot in this. She has, like, literally this reddish hair that is just so perfect on her. I was like, should I dye my hair red? And I think, like, there's a lot of these kind of weird, like, rich people crime things happening. Like, Jessica Biel had a show that came out recently. Like, it's very popular right now. But I also think the big thing, like, that's more popular than ever is these incest plots. And it's, like, fully incest. Like, there's a whole thing where it's, like, there's so many times that Robin Wright's character is, like, watching her son get a blowjob. Or, like, when, like, he doesn't know. Or, like, there's a whole scene where, and again, this is from two different perspectives, like, Olivia Cooke is, like, kissing her son, but she's, like, looking at Robin Wright, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, like, is incest the new boundary pusher? Is what I'm thinking in terms of, like, sex on TV, because I feel like we've gotten to, like, we had 50 Shades where it's like BDSM. We have sex on TV all the time. So it's like, now how do we make it even more scandalous? And it's like, okay, well, we had White Lotus, we had Game of Thrones, and now we have this, and there's like probably a couple of other little things sprinkled in. And
yeah, I mean, as far as like mother son, I mean, you've had that since Oedipus. That's probably the reason for that.
Yeah, because I do think it's interesting. You always either see, like, it's two siblings, White Lotus, Game of Thrones, or you never see a father-daughter, because I feel like that's almost too much. I
think that would be too much, which is wild, because, like, it's too much. It should be too much the other ways, but for some reason that just seems particularly...
And maybe because it gets to pass as, like, oh, this is just, like, a mother's love. Like, a mother's love is really intense, but it's always like a mother-son. It's just really interesting to me.
I think it's like also it like a mother-son plot, I guess, would go well with like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
With like a girlfriend getting in the way. And that's because, I mean, a lot of people have that thing of like, like, I'm not saying this is true for everybody, but like a son, and everybody always says that, like, mothers of sons are kind of, like, the worst or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's not always true, but, like, that's, like, what a lot of the...
Yeah.
Also, I mean, just in general, I think the whole... I mean, you had, like, the monster-in-law or whatever. Like, that's just always been
I was listening to this thing where people were saying... I guess it's, like, a adage where it's, like, if you have a son, then if you have a daughter, you're always going to be, like, the most important thing in her life. But if you have a son, you're the most important thing until he gets married.
Right.
Or, like, has a wife. Which I think is interesting, because it's, like, you shouldn't really be, I don't know, thinking of those relationships like that.
No.
But it does seem to be something that... But I do think, like, again, I think incest is, like, the next... Because we just have sex on TV.
Incest is the new...
Is the new hot thing. You know?
What a line.
It's like... What did Megan say that one time? My favorite incest or whatever. And it's like...
Yeah, the incest never looked better.
Yeah.
Well, she was talking about House of the Dragon, which incidentally also has Olivia Cooke.
Incest, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also has incest, Olivia Cooke. Well, interestingly, so the first thing that I noticed that, like, when you're reading the cast, is like Daniel was played by Laurie Davidson, and I was like, how do I know that name? Like, I was like, that name sounds so familiar, and then I thought about it, and, you know, I'd be listening to a lot of Broadway, a lot of musicals, so a lot of the times, I'm not saying I listened to this particular soundtrack, but it's popped up before.
Yeah. Is
the Cats, like, the movie soundtrack.
Interesting, okay.
To the Cats movie. And
Catcest.
So when Mr. Mistopheles comes up, it always says, like, Laurie Davidson, and I looked it up. He looked like...
The Cats is wild.
Look up Laurie Davidson Cats, because he's a hottie in real life, let me tell you. He's cute.
Yeah, he is cute.
I think
he's an
British.
absolute buffoon in this. And the thing is, he's an ER doctor. Like, literally, when he leaves his girlfriend to drown, he's an ER doctor, and it never gets brought up until it's like she's hit her head on something. He's like, oh, well, at least let me, like, you know, dress it for you.
Oh my God, it seems like he's the most injured person in this show. How does that happen?
He's like, at least let me dress it for you. And I was like, what is he doing? And I'm like, oh, that's right. He's a doctor. They never talk about that. Also, I think it's interesting. So Robin Wright directed this, but originally she wasn't supposed to star in it. She didn't want to. It was supposed to be Tilda Swinton, but Tilda Swinton had like a scheduling conflict. And so basically Robin Wright was like, okay, I guess I have to.
Unless this movie took place in a forest, I don't see that being...
Seeing Tilda Swinton in modern times is always, like, very jarring.
That's what I mean. Like, it's interesting. I love Tilda Swinton, but I just couldn't see her in this role.
I think, honestly, Robin Wright is a little bit better because she's a little bit, like, softer looking. So,
right.
like, you do have some sympathy where you're like, she's just like a mom who wants to care for her kid.
Whereas I'd immediately be like, well, Tilda Swinton's the villain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Tilda Swinton. She doesn't always play a villain, but I feel like it would have a different tone.
Yeah. And there's just like a lot of like things that I haven't even mentioned, but there's just like a lot of undertones, and I just think it's like it's a good show. Like, I think Robin Wright really, really did it. She went for it, you know?
She really girlfriended it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I now know the whole plot, so I won't be watching.
I don't think you would have liked it, but...
What about it? I'm curious when you see that, like, what makes you think I wouldn't like it? I wasn't planning on watching it. I just am curious. Like, what goes through your head when you think that?
I don't know. It's just, like, I think you just wouldn't be... Because, like, even when we watched Sirens and I was like, oh, I really loved this, I kind of, like, wanted you to watch it, but I didn't think, like, with shows like that, it's hard for me to predict which ones you're gonna like, because there have been ones where you really love, like, how would you describe it? It's almost like wealthy thriller.
Oh, I love wealthy thrillers.
But sometimes, like,
I am just gonna say it. I don't want this to be the case, but I think there's like this slight misogynistic streak in me that I'm like, there's not enough men, and I wish that weren't the case, but I think that's what it is. I think that's what we're all thinking right now.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is not. Like, I don't want that to be the case.
What's a wealthy thriller with men? I feel like the ones I think of are just like women.
Yeah, I guess Big Little Lies is not, but
has Skarsgård.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I would also say maybe The White Lotus. I would consider a wealthy thriller. Yeah. And then I can't think of any other shows, but
yeah, interesting. Yeah, but that's
I don't know. Yeah. It's not something I'm proud of. It's just true.
It's okay. We all
I love
women.
Things. I support women.
I don't want to watch shows about poor people.
I love.
You know? Sorry.
See, and I
should say poor people in the past, to clarify. Like when we talked about the Gilded Age.
There aren't any, though, is what your point was before.
There are some, and I don't like them.
Like what?
Like Harlots.
Oh, see, I never watched that. Okay.
Harlots was okay. It was just like a little bit, everyone is kind of dirty.
You know what we are watching?
There's a lot of mud.
I do want to I think... There's a lot of... Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, because it's like... That's what I'm saying makes sense. I didn't mean to say, like, they're dirty because they're prostitutes.
No,
I meant, like,
I think you sound fine. I'm really upset that I announced that, but I just think it's... I think we're all thinking
Speak your truth. It's okay.
It's just... I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is.
You have... And see, like, I honestly... Like, a hot cast, great. I don't really, like, care about, like...
but that's, like, I need a hot cast and also amazing writing. And also, that's not always true for me. But I think a lot of the time it is.
Yeah.
I have to just do an honorable mention because we are currently watching it, but we're both watching House of Guinness, and I I love it so much. That's all I have to say. But we both are watching it.
I like it. I'm not in love with it yet. I think it's gonna be a builder show. I gotta get into the characters.
I literally I was working in the office today. I literally went home during lunch to watch it during lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was like, I really am enjoying the show. I gotta chill, though, because there's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, I'm only watching it in the evenings. It's an evening, because it's kind of dark, like, in terms of the...
Like, the lighting.
Yeah. And I can't watch a show like that in the middle of the day. It really disorients me.
Matthew's always like, turn it on. He hates it. He makes fun of it every second.
I hate that.
Actually, he did say, he was like, I think I would like the show if it weren't for the music. And I do understand. The
music's a lot of Irish pop. Not pop, but like punk music.
So it's similar to it's the same creator of Peaky Blinders, but and so they do the same thing that Peaky Blinders does, where they play, Peaky Blinders playing like modern music, but it's somehow more jarring in this show, and I don't know what it is.
I think because Peaky Blinders takes place almost like 70 years later.
I think it's a lot of like really abrupt like Irish music.
But I think it's also jarring because I don't think like the main characters like, and they make this comment like their Irish accents aren't like very Irish.
What, in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Like, they're, because they're, like, wealthy and they go study in London and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. But,
anyway.
So our last topic of the day, so this was kind of, well, actually, we have 2 things to get to, but this kind of snuck up on us was Selena Gomez got, married.
You literally she was engaged, but
sorry, we didn't know that.
But we didn't know it was that day.
You literally texted me. You were like, "Did you know Selena Gomez is getting married today?" And I was like, "No, I did not get the invite."
Man, she posted those photos fast.
Yeah,
she posted them that night.
Number 1 on Instagram. You gotta. You know what I mean?
Is she number 1 on Instagram?
She was for a long time. Like, she had the most followers. Yeah.
Maybe most followers female. For the longest time, the most followers was...
No, I think she had the most followers, like, for a long time.
Of anybody in the world?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I always thought it was... That's why I know, because I always thought it was crazy. I was like... I mean, like, I love Selena Gomez, but I was like, whoa.
Well, I remember at one point it was Katy Perry, that shocked me, because I was like, why?
Yeah.
Although we did learn through this podcast that Katy Perry still to this day has like one of our audio clips for when we were talking about Katy Perry had like the most views of like anything, and I was like, wow, I just don't think. Anyway, Selena Gomez getting married. Yes, she and Benny.
Yeah. little Benny boy.
Yeah.
They got married in Santa Barbara yesterday in a cozy 100-person ceremony, but there were some celebs there like Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, who wasn't getting served at this wedding, and Paris Hilton.
Was she a bridesmaid?
I don't know.
She was wearing a bridesmaid dress. That's why I was like, it looked bridesmaid-y.
Are they friends? I just didn't know
they're
that.
very good friends.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she was.
Yeah.
I always think whenever you see like famous people as bridesmaids, but in like their regular friends' weddings, it's always like jarring.
Yeah.
You know
It's weird to see. Like, I remember seeing Kendall Jenner be a bridesmaid in a friend's wedding, like her and Gigi Hadid, and
it's like probably still a very wealthy
you guys are
person.
Wearing bridesmaid dresses, like you know what I mean? It's just like weird to think of them doing like bridesmaids stuff. I was gonna say, I know you know that like the thing that always reminds me of Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez's friendship is the drama. But so you know, Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato used to be best friends. They were on Barney together as kids, and they were best friends.
Wow.
And then they stopped being friends. And one time there's a video of Demi Lovato signing autographs, and someone was like, "Where's Selena?" And she goes, "Ask Taylor." It's
what?
Like on video, yeah.
Again, like we always talk about like girl drama, but you're like the most famous people in the world, but you're also like 13 and like
I know, because they were teenagers.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So they are friends. Also,
Ask Taylor. That's wow.
Ask Taylor. Yeah, she was wild back in like truly. Remember when she was punching. She was beating up Nick Jonas.
Oh yeah.
No. What was I gonna say? Oh, and also Martin Short and Steve Martin and Paul Rudd.
Oh, I think Martin Short was a ring bearer.
No way.
I think so. That's what
the
I read.
cutest thing I've ever heard.
Cute.
Is that true?
I heard him say it on Amy Poehler's podcast, so I think it's true. Selena Gomez was on the podcast like a few weeks ago, and so usually on Amy Poehler's podcast, like right before she'll like interview someone close to the person she's interviewing, and be like, "What should I ask them?" And I think he said he was going to be a ring bearer at her wedding.
Was he joking or was he serious?
I think he was serious.
That's so funny.
Either that or Selena Gomez said it, but like one of them said it.
That's funny if that's true.
Yeah, it was very cute.
Yeah, she from the photo she looked beautiful.
Yeah, so she wore two dresses. The first dress is a halter neck satin dress by Ralph Lauren. Is it Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren?
So I say Ralph Lauren because one time this girl in high school corrected me. She was like, Ralph Lauren.
Well, she doesn't know.
Well, it was like really weird of her too.
One time this girl in high school was giving a presentation on Celtic culture, and she interrupted me and she goes, "Actually, it's the Celtics." And the way that I flipped my head around and said, "Actually, that's the basketball team." And like the teacher literally was like, "You're right, proceed." And I was like, "Why would you interrupt?"
That's nice for you because I have a memory of being in AP honors English like freshman year, and I was giving a presentation and someone interrupted me and I talked back to them, and my teacher said, "Molly, don't talk during your don't talk back, like don't like talk during your presentation."
What kind of teachers? You have like an anti-drug teacher? Like
I
what?
wish I could call. I wasn't even gonna call out the other one. I wish I could call out this bitch. Ugh, she pisses me off.
Wow. Well, now you're on our international podcast.
I know. Ugh. If you were a freshman English teacher at Bruton Honors English, if you know who I'm, someone help me out here.
I was not.
God.
So I don't know.
Oh, I'll never forget it. I do remember who interrupted me. It was Josh Riley. If you're listening to this, fuck you. Yeah, literally. It was like one of the worst things like ever because I was just like, how does that happen?
Yeah. How did
interrupt me?
Presentator.
And then, but then I get called out for it?
That's crazy. I would have been like, okay, well, she's wrong and I'm giving a presentation. Anyways.
I wish horrible thing. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Anyways, so she was wearing Ralph Lauren or Lauren, and so was Benny.
Love that.
Yeah, but her second dress, I really loved. He posted a photo of it where it's like they're on the couch and he said, "I got to marry a real life Disney princess," which I kind of, people love that caption. I kind of didn't, but whatever. I love that dress more. It was very lacy. It was very elegant, but in all the photos, like they just look so happy, which like it's your wedding day, so you're supposed to, but like she just has really been shining, looking happy lately.
Yeah. In the last photo that does show a little boy on the altar, I'm curious if that was the real ring bearer, but...
Okay, well, I'm going to look it up. I don't know why you don't trust me with this information via Amy Poehler.
I mean, you don't have to trust me either. I got the Super Bowl thing wrong, but I don't trust anybody anymore.
Anyways, so I'm excited for them. I feel like they were engaged for a long time and then just suddenly married. Like,
does
suddenly
say Martin Short was jokingly designated as the ring bearer. What? I'm just saying.
Well, they were very serious about it on the podcast I listened to. That they were.
I believe you. I mean, it could have been real. It just that's what it said.
Interesting, but congrats to them, and we wish them a bountiful and plentiful harvest.
Oh, yeah, they do. I seriously like.
They seem happy.
So happy. And yet, what were all the tweets that I saw during this whole day about Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber? Because we somehow still cannot let that go.
That's crazy. They
just
were
all
dating
like... I don't know. It was like, but it was people being like, because I guess Justin Bieber posted something that day, so now everyone's like, he can never like let it go. I don't even know if that's what he was posting about.
The last time they were dating, Obama was president. You know, like, let it go.
Crazy.
Let it go.
It's crazy. She's also a lot older than him. Like,
they have a baby. Sorry.
Yeah, they have a baby.
Yeah, sorry.
Isn't Selena Gomez like kind of a lot older than him? Because I always thought it was weird that they were dating when they were.
No, I might be wrong. I think he just was. He was really short when they first started dating. Because you might be right. Because again, like they were 14. Nothing is like seeing a middle school couple where it's like
that's what
that
it feels
person.
Like they're still
like,
hanging on to that.
She looks like she's 21 and he looks like he's 12, but they're both in 7th grade.
Yeah, it's rough.
You know, it's a rough time. But anyways, so our last topic, at the beginning of every month, which this will be coming out on October 1st, we just like to talk about our upcoming joys. So some stuff that we're looking forward to that's coming up this month. I was gonna say this week.
In 2 weeks.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
So Bone Lake is coming out, and it's gotten really good reviews. It's like a horror film, and again, the reviews that I've been reading are like promotional posts via Bone Lake, but still, I'm very excited. It comes out on October 3rd in theaters. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I didn't know what that was about, and you had to tell me, but it does sound interesting.
Yeah.
One that I'm excited about, it also comes out on October 3rd. It's called Steve. And it has Cillian Murphy in it.
Oh, yes.
And I think it's coming out on Netflix on October 3rd, but he's a head teacher at a boys' reform school. And it's about him dealing with the kids and then his struggling with his mental health. And it just looked really interesting. And also, I'm going to be watching anything with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Well, I'm excited for you for that. I didn't know about it until just now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm excited about this. Good Boy. It's this horror movie from the perspective of the dog. It comes out October 3rd. I thought I wanted to see it, and then I saw the trailer, and you could hear the dog whimpering, and I was like, I don't think I can do it.
And the thing is, the dog is going to survive, but here's my thoughts on this. So not only is it like, it was upsetting to see that, and I don't want to see that. Like, I just don't want to see a dog being scared. You know what I mean? Like, at all. Like, even if nothing like, whatever. That's just upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Also, corny.
Yeah.
So if the dog, like,
it got great reviews,
the day, but everything gets great reviews now. I swear I've not seen a bad reviewed movie in a long time. Anyway, if the dog obviously will probably survive and he'll be the hero of the movie, that's corny. I don't want to see that either. That's stupid.
Yeah. Wow.
It just is.
Yeah.
But there is a movie.
It was a cat, though.
No,
that's a little more believable to me.
Well, the cat would just be like, bye, and leave.
That's
true. Or hide.
And this is coming from someone who loves dogs and cats, but.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
But.
But cool.
Yeah.
Upcoming joy for somebody.
Yeah, this is also like. I just know this is an upcoming joy for friend of the pod, Megan, because I actually don't really care about this. It's the Ed Gein.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I really don't know that much about him.
It's the 3rd season of Monsters. I guess he was like a bank robber. Or no, sorry. He was a serial killer and a grave...
Sorry. What? I was like, Alexa, I don't think so.
I was like, I know he robbed something. He's a serial killer and a grave robber.
And it's what, like, Silence of the Lambs is based on.
Yeah.
I want to say, what's the other one with the skin face? And maybe a Psycho a little bit. And then...
Yeah. The skin face.
No, what's the one? Is it not Halloween? Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, I love love is a strong word, I shouldn't say, but I really did think that the first 2 seasons of Monster, like Jeffrey Dahmer and the Menendez brothers seasons were very, very good.
Yeah.
For some reason, this one just does not interest me.
I liked the Menendez brothers. The Jeffrey Dahmer one, honestly, I didn't finish. I was so bored. I was like, how can I be bored by a cannibal?
I know. Because that season went on for too long. Like, they really could have wrapped that up in, like...
You want to watch a movie?
the first like 4 episodes were good, but then it was like, I have a lot of thoughts about that season actually, but
so this is the 3rd season. It's coming out on October 3rd from Ryan Murphy on Netflix. Yeah. The next one I think we're both excited about.
Yeah.
What? I thought you were. It's The Woman in Cabin 10, the Ruth Ware novel. Now going to be adapted.
I just don't remember it. Sorry.
Really? It's my favorite one.
I read the book, but I read it so long ago. I'm not like excited because I don't remember it.
I love that it's starring Keira Knightley. I feel like I haven't seen her in anything in a while, but basically it's like a woman is on this like cruise as a journalist and she sees a woman get killed, but then no one remembers this woman being on the boat or anything.
And I remember reading it. I swear I just do not remember the plot. Like, I don't remember what happens. I don't remember.
Either, but that's maybe, like, I remember I loved it. But, yeah, maybe that's good. Because sometimes, like, reading, like, a thriller and then, like, seeing the movie isn't as, like, enjoyable because you know, like, what's going to happen.
It's true.
As opposed to, like, other types of adaptations. After the Hunt with Ayo Edebiri and Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield, that comes out on October 17th. And it's interesting because it's gotten mixed reviews, so I don't know how I feel, but I'll probably, like, I don't know if I'll go to the theaters and see it, but I'll stream it.
It's a Luca Guadagnino film.
Whoa.
Thank you. And it's about like a student accusing a teacher, a professor, I believe, of
inappropriate conduct.
I think. And the most that we've heard about this movie, or I would say the biggest thing that's like come out of the press of this movie was, did you see that interview with the 3 of them where that interviewer asks, he like ignores Ayo and like only addresses Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield, and is basically, he was like Italian, and he was basically like, is Me Too still relevant? Is this even, I forgot what he asked, but it was very like,
it was like a weird
It was like
question.
weird and kind of offensive, and like they kind of like Julia Roberts does not give 2 shits. Like, she is always ready to fight somebody. Yeah. And I say that thinking of just like one paparazzi video, but she's just always very like direct, I would say. But she's like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking to because you have your sunglasses on. So who are you addressing? And he was like, oh, you two. And then it's just like, it's so awkward, the whole thing. I mean, they like
she's
really
asked that, and he says Julia and Andrew.
Yeah. And doesn't ask her, which is strange that he left her out. Yeah. And she was like, she addresses it, and she's just like, I don't know if that was on purpose that I was left out, but like, it's very odd. But that's the only thing I've really heard from that from the press of that movie. But that doesn't matter. I will see it.
Yeah.
I just was like, I always think of that horrible interview.
It was awful. Then on October 24th, Springsteen, the movie, is coming out. This just feels like Bob Dylan, here we go again.
I know.
I'll be honest.
I'm not interested. I'm not in a bio. So I am a biopic person if it's about somebody that I care about, and even then I'm just not. Like, but I don't care about Bruce Springsteen, I gotta be honest.
I don't care about Bruce Springsteen. I'll probably like see it, but I love,
and it stars Jeremy Allen White, if we didn't say that. And Jeremy Strong's in it too. Both actors I love, but I just am not interested in seeing it.
I don't care. And again, like, maybe if we hadn't just had the Bob Dylan one, and I understand they're 2 different people, 2 different musicians, whatever.
Yeah.
We just did this, so whatever. I'll go see it though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
You guys, I almost, by the skin of your teeth, you got me to see Bob Dylan.
And you liked it, though.
I did. It wasn't something I'd see again, but yeah. I did.
It inspired us to go to Newport.
I did. I enjoyed the experience of seeing it with you guys.
Yeah.
The next one is Bugonia.
Yeah. Comes
out October 24th. That is, oh shoot, what's his name? Who directed it? He did the
Yorgos
Favorite.
Lanthimos.
Yeah. And it has Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, who I'm already seated.
Yeah.
But it's based on a Korean film called, I think it's Korean, and I think it's called Save the Green Planet. And so I already know the plot of that, so I think I know the plot of this. But if it is the same plot, it's going to be a very interesting movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that one. He likes
it's going to be weird.
I will say, like, I loved Poor Things, and then I really hated Kinds of Kindness.
Kinds of Kindness, I think, was his experimental film, and I'm okay with that. I don't think I would ever watch it again. I didn't hate it. It gave me really weird feelings.
Yeah,
like I felt very like unnerved by it. But it was definitely not his best. I still think his best is The Favorite, honestly, or The Lobster, or Killing of a Sacred Deer is probably my second favorite. But I did also I loved Poor Things, but I'm curious how this will be. Yeah, I'll be seated for it though for sure.
The next one is October 23rd. Nobody Wants This season 2, which I'm surprised. Like I don't know why. I guess it was a year ago that the last one came out, but I'm excited to see where it goes. I love that show. I love Adam Brody, and it's interesting. Leighton Meester, I think, is going to make a cameo in this season, which I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess we'll talk about it when it gets there. But
I never watched the first season.
I love it. It's like, it's not even that it's like a romantic comedy. It's just like enjoyable. Yeah. It's just like the way they build the plot, the characters, like it's lovely.
Yeah. And so our last one is Welcome to Derry, which is like a prequel to it. It comes out October 26th. I gotta say, I'm very shocked they made this show.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not based on anything, I don't think. But it takes place in the 60s. And,
I'm excited.
I mean, Bill Skarsgård is coming back.
Okay.
As Pennywise. And I'll probably be seated for it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be watching it. I watched the one that came out last year that was about vampires. That was like also.
Yeah, I never. Salem. Is it
Salem's Lot? Yeah. And that was okay.
I was going to. And then I heard so many people say it was like very boring.
It was fine. Like, it's not something that I would be like, yeah, you should watch it.
I love vampire stuff, but I just. Yeah. I wasn't.
Midnight Mass.
So I do want to watch that still. I need to. I also found out
now's the time.
Well, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I'll probably watch Welcome to Derry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's all we had for you guys today. As always, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next time. Please share this podcast with your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, anyone with ears, really, because we want more ears.
Your mom, your girlfriend.
If they're the same person,
listen to
that's
it on a
fine.
Long walk.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. We're just trying to.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, we like to circle back.
Yeah, let's circle back.
Yeah. But until next time, watch a lot of things and let us know about it.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions, please, again, follow us at Poppin In Podcast and
send us DMs, send us emails.
Tell us if you
talk
think
to
there's
us
something...
on TikTok. It's just me and Molly. We don't have any friends or husbands or animals. We just live in this room.
Yeah, please let us out.
Let us out. Anyways, bye.